Hello and welcome to the School of Nerdcraft and Dungeonry. I am your headmaster, Magic Sheep, and this is Magic Academy. Welcome in. How you doing, Duckburg? 4 for 4.
Did you forget?
In.
Did you forget how to do this, Randall? Has it been
it's
too
so
long?
Fucking long. Yeah. And I'm being blinded, so that's all I could think about.
4 for 4 combo meal. Listen,
now I'm hungry.
food sounds so good right now. I had donuts at 5 o'clock this morning and gas station coffee.
It's been so long that there are legitimate fucking spider webs at my desk.
How is that possible?
Buddy.
So why? Why? Welcome in to Ranger Sheep and Leaked Prison both being first. That's a
choice.
I know I love Ranger Sheep and I know like privilege, but like I didn't give that to you, so taking that back. Investigation Squad.
It's mine.
Trinity Adventures, the Paddywhack, Ranger Sheep, Wanderer, and Duckburg. Thank you guys for getting in on a notification squad and being the first 5 in the stream. First 6 kind of sort. Anyway, numbers are weird. And I see Anthony. Thank you for the lurk. Welcome in. Wow, I'm so excited to be back at the table with you guys. It has felt like forever. I know it's only been like the normal break time, but every time we have this break, I know I come back and say it like a fucking broken record, but I'm very excited to be with you guys and I fucking love you guys. Okay, so like, but don't you fucking laugh, Tati. Okay, I don't have my fan with me and it's upsetting me.
My God.
You sweet diva.
I know, seriously, where's your fan?
I used it for a TikTok that I had to take down. So
you had to take the TikTok down?
Why?
Yes. That is a conversation off stream.
Great.
It is not. It is a conversation
all
for
you need to
now.
know. Clearly, we had some concert level fans going. Obviously, there was too much blowing around, and it had to come down.
Wow.
I got stuck on blowing.
Always.
You would.
Always.
The number of TikToks I've had come down, I feel for you. I don't know why. TikTok just hates me.
Yeah, I didn't get attacked, but I didn't want to be attacked, so I just like avoid. So nonetheless,
This
very
just
happy you're here.
in, Randall is in fact a rogue and wants to disengage from everything.
Disengage.
Ow.
Cutting action, disengage. Cutting action, disengage.
I'm not starting shit yet. I'm not trying
It's
to.
okay, baby. Run away.
I'm
Just
not
run
ready
away.
for my problematic era. That's gotta be later.
Wait, it's later?
Oh, I thought it was now.
Anyway, so
What?
we are joined with Trinity Adventures, the Evelyn sometimes. You don't have to, but you are now. Sweet and Lore, or aka Bonnie, and Tipsy Tiger. And I am your game master.
I don't get my the. Evelyn gets my the.
I said the Tipsy Tiger.
You said it's fine.
You don't get your article or your real name. You get neither.
I forget if they
Only
want to use their real name. I don't know.
We haven't actually talked about it. It's fine. Everyone on stream, Churney is making Randall panic for absolutely no reason. It's fine.
I have a specific set of skills.
Don't use them.
I am tonight's game master, Mattershebe, aka Randall. So welcome in. Glad to see you here. So you're saying too many fans will blow Randall off the screen, and they will be the only thing on stream, a stream of only fans, if you will.
God damn it.
Okay, so how do I time
Mine's
out
right
someone?
over here.
No.
Let me go.
No, please don't
Punch
time him. No, please don't time him out.
I am mad that he is streaming Final Fantasy tonight because I really want to watch him play Final Fantasy because the first 3 hours are a whirlwind of emotions and I want to watch him cry. So
Okay, hang on. I think I can probably.
I'm gonna go back and
you.
watch Duckburg's VOD.
This just in, we're canceling Magic Academy tonight so we can watch Duckburg cry.
It's become a watch party.
It has become a watch party.
Just gonna watch party Duckburg stream.
Jokes on you guys.
we're back with today, episode 7 of Campaign 1. We're very excited, and some events just keep look out for. D3 at Sea. We added it to the rotational panel below me. So if you do d3atsea.com, you can absolutely go check us out. Although make sure to sign up quickly because the prices do go up at the end of this month, and you have to pick your GM tables at July 15th, which apparently my table's already almost booked, or at least going to go very quickly. So I'm very excited for that. And it'll be really fun to hang out with you guys and see you guys. And you'll also be able to meet Bonnie, who's coming with us to help hang out and play some games of their own. So we're very excited to have
help hang out.
I
will help you hang out.
Hanging out.
Yeah. Bonnie's going to be feeding me alcohol to get Veronica to come out, my alter ego, and then make a bunch of TikToks. And that's how we're going to go viral. Yes.
I love Veronica.
They talk to everyone.
Buddy, I don't know if you and I should be unsupervised in a drinking facility.
So come hang out.
Everybody that heard that line just had a small panic.
I got called a fruit today on TikTok.
Did you say thank you?
Which one?
I did. Well, I did, and then I got self-conscious because everyone said I'm not allowed to engage with haters. But
are you a melon?
Stop engaging with hate comments. Also, if you were a fruit, you'd be a lemon. Cherney's correct.
What am I, sour? The fuck?
No, I asked if he was a melon, not a lemon.
I was thinking lemon in the fan fiction sense.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'll explain it to you when you're older.
If you know, you know.
Oh my god.
And you probably spend too much time on AO3.
Well,
Prism says you're a tomato.
a tomato?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't
Fair
thinking
enough.
about that, Evelyn, and then I just come over here. I wouldn't be a lemon.
You can be a lemon too.
No!
You have a
that's
lemon
okay.
dress, so that tracks.
I have
Stop.
so many inappropriate thoughts to say on lemon, but I'm not going to go there. We're gonna move past.
I'm gonna hide over here. Okay, bye.
And then we do have the Hobbit finale coming up on this Friday, Saturday, where you'll be able to see the culmination of the 4-episode Hobbit adventure and our wrapping up of the One Ring. Then stay tuned as next week we announced our first new game coming. We'll release that on Sunday, and then the week following after that we'll release that we're having a second new game coming out. And then on every other Saturday you're going to enjoy 2 new games. The one hint I'll give you is that they are modules from, I believe they're both from WotC.
I think so.
Yeah, is that what they fall under?
Yes. One of them I know for sure does. The other one I'm pretty sure does also.
Yeah. So we have 2 very well-known nodules coming through, and I'm very excited to get you details on who's DMing, who's at the table. So keep a lookout on our socials for that. And remember, if you're watching this video after the fact on YouTube or over on a Spotify or any of your podcast listening platforms, make sure to give this a like, star, thumbs up, and comment your favorite part of the show. And then also our Patreon, we have that too. Do that. Go there. I don't know what you want from me. We released new maps on Patreon. So if you want new maps, maps got uploaded. We might need more maps. So it's a lot of exciting things on there.
I was at the beach when you posted that, so I have yet to look at any of my work messages. And okay.
Well, with that, I think let's go ahead and just get in today's session, right?
Let's do it.
Alrighty.
Are we doing a summary?
Well, yeah. I'm just gonna fucking throw you in it. I mean, you want to go?
You just asked if we were ready to get into our next session, so I wasn't sure.
Of course we'll do a summary. I forget what happened. Let's see.
I can do a summary.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I have it.
All right. You have not done one, so I'm gonna toss this into your park. I was practicing this on a car ride.
You were practicing it in the car, right? Well, now I feel bad.
No, it's good.
All that work.
It's good.
Oh my goodness. The scene opens, picking up the crushing room, and Diana and Adrian stuck behind the bars, Tati looking on. Thankfully, Kreia and Calix made it to the room where the switch was, stopping the spikes, but still dodging the skeletal minotaurs from the maze. However, in the other room, Diana and Adrian are immediately confronted by Grexis. What do you think of Xander the murderer, he growls. Kreia and Calix manage to escape the skeleton with some convenient luck of a suffocating rug, making for a battle between Grexis and the other three heroes. During the battle, the Wight of Xander raises from his tomb, summoning the only weapon Grexis holds, a glowing great axe, and offers it to Diana, who immediately takes it and strikes. In a fit of rage, Grexis moves to gore Tatiana, spitting on her body as she drifts at the edge of unconsciousness, the Gorgon mustering her own rage and strength and the disrespect to summon herself from death's door and cleave the Minotaur's arm from his torso, forcing him to drop his shield to the ground. Adrian ends up being the one to finish Grexis, the Minotaur's weapons dulling with his death, showing their age in an instant. As the dust settles, Adrian falls into a silent conversation with the Wight of Xander, receiving a breastplate and confirmation that he was once Gregor, the last surviving DragonLord of the Order, and receiving a crown, perhaps his crown of old, gaining a vision of the dragon he was once bonded to, Hezebel, though he later comes to understand that Captain Gaius, who awaits the heroes in Pythor's palace, raided the tomb some years previous and took Adrian's armor for himself. As Adrian tries to cope with the information he has gained from the strange conversation, Kreia feels their pendant tug towards the sarcophagus of Xander, prompting them to insert the necklace into the corresponding impression on the stone, another crown forming out of the brambles around the carved figure of Xander on the top. Through this, Tati is fuming, and finally it comes to a head when Adrian shrugs off her input one too many times, earning him a slap so hard it knocks him unconscious. The rest of the group gives Tatiana her space, and Adrian is eventually picked back up, and they all walk back out of the mausoleum, greeted again by Damon's current partner, Ida. The group is offered a place to stay for the night, and as we settle around the fire, Damon asks what brought us all here in the first place. After discovering that Adrian was once Gregor, Damon kneels and, having waited his entire extended life, to serve the DragonLords. As the heroes settle in for the night, small conversations bubble up around the fire, Diana asking Adrian how he is, to which he responds he's not ready for the responsibility he's been handed. Tati responds he should take his life more seriously, frustrated with his joking, which to the surprise of everyone brings a new person to the forefront for a proper introduction, Tal'Doran Veth. With a strange conversation, before he returns to the background, he leaves the group with a message that there are forces watching, rooting for you. We're here, we're listening, and we have faith in you. Diana works on her pair of leather bracelets in the evening, Calix having some interest in what happened and why she has them, and we learn about Areto, her wife. As a comfort, Cal offers their vineyard journals so that she can look at the pictures as she falls asleep. Adrian and Kreia talk about the implications of the DragonLords and possible knightings, reaching the agreement that I've got your back if you've got mine. Calix eventually gets up and settles down next to Tati, trying to suss out what has her so on a hair trigger. She reveals that she has been given the chance to finally see her own reflection after over a century of living under her Gorgon curse. In the morning, Versi comes to wake the group, seeming very protective, perhaps possessive of Adrian, though she is only a shade of herself, being an illusion. But we find out that Adrian has made an oath to her for the future after these adventures conclude. She also assures Kreia that when their grandmother wants to talk to them, she will. The session comes to an end as we start the second day of our preparation, deciding that we will go to kill the basilisks in the river this same day. We head back to Astoria, feeling a growing tenseness near the Rock of Astor, where the impending sacrifice of the demigod princess, Honora, will take place. Finally, the party arrives at Vulcan's Forge, in hopes of repairing the weapons that they gained from Groxus.
Can I vote that Cherney does every recap from now on? Because holy shit! That was really good!
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I'm amazing, didn't you know?
That was really good, and thank you. And you get inspiration.
Yay, Cherney!
So, with that, you guys are standing outside of the forge in Astoria, Vulcan's Hall, this beautiful, ornately designed building with these brass metals that kind of cascade down the side of the ceilings down to the ground. And as you step inside, there's a little bit of a bustle with Vulcan and the apprentice, who is going back and forth between spot to spot, as you can see them hammering down. And Vulcan looks over to the apprentice and goes, No. The forge must be exactly 1,000 degrees Celsius. Please. You have to put more coals on. It will not work. And stoke it a little bit further. We want to make sure this is the perfect steel. And if we go over here, and they kind of move over, and they're bending this big, large steel rod as the middle heat just kind of turns this deep red as it bends around a curve. And the apprentice looks over to you and looks and goes, Sir, they're here. And Vulcan turns and goes, hello, may I help you? And he just continues to like bang, kind of dismissively.
Well, I look at Tati. Because you've got the weapons.
You're still muted.
Haha! The stuff. Right. Stuff and things. Okay. I was gonna ask you, is it the shield of Vulcan that I have, or is it a shield of Xander?
So
it's a shield of Vulcan, and we have the axe of Xander, which also made it to your hands. It was presented to Diana, but you did get given to Tati.
Okay.
And then we are also carrying the breastplate of Mitros, which I believe is currently with Adrian.
Yes, that is with Adrian.
Correct. And I have replaced the golden shield of Vulcan and the axe of Xander in your inventory, Tati. They both say broken, and that's because they're in that state.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I was on board with stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna like pull this shield off my back, and then the axe, and present it to Vulcan. Just kind of hold it up. Can you fix these?
He's kind of banging away on this large strut, and he looks up and goes, "Where'd you get this?"
From the necropolis. They were given to us.
Given? You didn't take it, did you?
No, given.
Who gave you these?
A
Damon has known to be never depart with anything.
Fun fact. No, we defeated the Minotaur and God, why do I have my hands up like I'm in trouble?
Oh God.
We defeated the Minotaur and the ghost and because the names are failing me.
Xander himself gave them to us.
Yeah.
Yep. Xander is dead.
Well, there is such a thing as a white.
Yeah, aren't you a god? Don't you know about like ghosts and afterlives and things and supernatural looky spooky stuff? Isn't that kind of?
Is that the technical term they taught you in college?
Sure, but it's not a often a thing that we encounter.
We also are here for my stimfay. You remember I talked to you about this?
Yes. We were
Those
working
three
on
things.
a small prototype for that. Okay. May I take these from you real quick?
Yeah, of course.
And he's going to kind of step up. He is going to grab the shield delicately as he kind of looks at it and tilts it at different angles, kind of holding it up. You see kind of a sheen of light bounce off of it as he's trying to like watch the reflection. This was made of mithril.
Ooh.
They're not very common nowadays. Very high temperatures needed for the forge. I'm sorry I can't help you here with these two. They will still do if you're looking to smash things, but they the magic that is inside of the mithril itself is not fully going to come to the surface until we buff out some of these dents and dings. But I won't be able to fix that here.
If we took it up to that forge in the mountains you told us about, would we be able to fix it there?
It's where I made it.
Oh, so I assume then the answer is yes.
Absolutely, I could definitely pull these together, but
Okay.
we would need the forge. Then we'd probably need your father's hammer as well, Cal.
That is the plan, is to eventually retrieve it, I believe, but we have something else to take care of before that.
Yeah, we have a very full itinerary.
Well, there is quite a bit happening around town. I've heard the hubbub from the people who walk by all the time talking so loudly. I wish they would just be quiet. I do enjoy quiet. The sound of the tinging from the forge and the sound of sparks hitting the ground. It's like rainfall to me. Your construct that you're looking for.
Yes.
And he holds out his hand, and as he does so, you see this very small little ball just kind of roll on the palm of his hands, and he kind of whispers to it, and it comes to life as this small little gears kind of flutter out. Creating a very tiny bird in his hand, beautifully crafted of a beautiful deep copper and bronze. It is stands on its two legs and it has kind of a larger kind of belly. That's one gear that kind of clicks about every second. You just kind of see it, doof, doof, giving it just a little bit of weight to such a small creature. And he goes, "I believe this would do for what you're looking for."
One detail is that I would have asked for an osprey, which is a seabird. And I look at the little osprey and I hold out my finger, just like it were, a real bird. And for the first time, you see Diana with like a huge smile on her face.
As you hold out your finger, it takes its wing. It's a very cute, tiny wing. Kind of makes this big flap because it has a very big personality. And as it does, it curls its wing over top of yours. As you feel the cold metal kind of clasp over the tip of your finger with a small amount of pressure.
Hello, little Aaron. I think we will work well together, won't we?
You see the bird kind of look up and go,
and fun fact, I understand what it's saying. It's so again, reflavored Beastmaster Ranger kind of. And I look at it and I look at Vulcan. I just go, this means more than words can say. Do I pay you? I could make an homage with an offering, anything you. This is beautiful. I have not seen anything like it since leaving Thetis.
He kind of takes one of his monocle and kind of wiggles it a little bit as he kind of looks at it and goes, no. This one was very intricate. I haven't spent a lot of time really digging down into the small parts of gears and mechanics, and it was a lot of fun to create. If you ever do need to put it back together for any reason, let me know. But it was more fun than anything.
I smile, turn at the group, and go, "This is Aaron," and show off the little bird on my finger.
Diana, it's so cute.
Yeah, he's much smaller than the other ones, but I think he will be quite useful.
Do they get bigger? Do they grow like real birds? Because it's magic, so that means they can do cool magic things.
From what I can tell, so these were made for Amazon warriors, and because I wasn't a real Amazon, they never let me have one. I do believe they get bigger. Yes.
Cool.
So he'll get big. He'll be a big guy.
He kind of calls up on the top of your fingers. Its talons kind of perfectly situated, almost like it fits perfectly on your finger, like they were made, like rings around. And he just kind of looks over and goes, "Free, free."
Diana, who has never had cute aggression in her entire life, is just like, just trying really hard not to just go like, "Who's a good little bird?" Just like, "Yes, very good, Aaron, thank you," and like just trying so hard.
I so bad want, because you can understand the bird, right?
I can, yeah.
I so wanted to be like, "Yo, who the fuck's this?"
Who's this? What the fuck?
But they hear, "Free, free."
I can imagine it's like one of those babies that's just like, "What?" Like very basic.
It's that or I'm flying here.
I'm flying here.
Oh my god, can it please have a thick New Yorker accent?
Well, that means you're gonna have to voice Aaron.
I'll do it. Don't test me. If you want, I'll do it. Look, buddy, I'm not from Long Island, but I've lived here long enough.
Aaron, do you want a bagel or something? What is happening?
I would like a bacon, egg, and cheese, please, mother.
If someone does not clip this, I will riot.
Would like a bacon, egg, and cheese. I want it from the place on 6th. If you go to 8th, I swear to God.
I will fly away and not come back.
He picks up the shield he's kind of holding, looks back over to Tati and goes, "I'm sorry I can't be more help for you all."
I appreciate the any help that you can give, so that gives us a direction to go in. Thank you.
Thank you, Vulcan. It is very appreciated. And I look at Kreia, the keeper of the itinerary, just like, "So where do we go next?"
Kreia fully whips out their little notebook. It's probably actually closer to this size, but this is my sketchbook. It doesn't work as well for note-taking. So Kreia whips out their little notebook and flips through the pages to see what the plan is. Okay, so it's about midday right now.
Correct.
All right. I believe our next task is kill the basilisks. So we gotta go find those and take them out.
Cal starts to pull off their pack and shoulder it backwards on one shoulder and starts to pull a large reflective thing out of their bag. Just struggling to maneuver.
Do you need some help with that?
You know how you know that the bag will fit this thing that you have, right? It's the perfect dimension. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you yank it slightly off to one side, it is now locked into this fabric prison.
Kreia pockets their little thing and immediately is like, can help.
Like,
I'll hold the bag. You hold the shiny thing, and we'll both pull.
excellent. I assume that it comes loose.
Diana just
properly.
goes, I can help. Okay.
I am trying to remember. I'm trying to find it on my character sheet where I put these notes. I can't remember
Because you
as
did
a
get.
player.
I
If I
can't remember if
the
it was a
shield or the
Yeah, it was either a shield or a platter.
Yeah.
I think
It
we
was
said
a platter.
I think
It
we
was a
said
platter.
platter. Yeah.
It was a platter.
Yeah, Bonnie's right.
Okay.
It was a platter.
So there is a giant, like, at least 1.5 feet by 3 feet, like a huge serving tray that is polished to a reflective surface.
Is there a reason we took this out now and not later? Now you have to lug it around. All right.
We're
They'd have to,
going
like,
there
they'd-
now, right?
Yeah,
True.
they'd have to lug it around regardless.
That is true. Well, thank you again, Vulcan, and that Tati, you're satisfied? We'll take these to the forge once we're done with our business here.
Sounds like a plan.
We
He
still
looked at
need
it and
to
Vulcan's just kinda
save.
Yeah. And it kind of goes back to shepherding the apprentice around, beckoning orders to him.
And what were you saying, Cal?
We need to take care of Honora's situation so that we can get the hammer from Pythor.
Absolutely. Let's go.
We save the princess. We get the hammer. We go to the forge. We gotta
Fight some centaurs.
might have to fight some centaurs. We're gonna try and avoid that. I might have a plan.
The
But
ones
we'll
that
get there when we get there.
the ones that Tati specifically told us that if we tried to fight them, we would die.
Yes, and that's why I think I might have a plan. But we'll get there when we get there. For now, save the step one. Save the princess. And step one of saving the princess, kicking some basilisk ass.
Got it.
That was a choice.
Basilisk
I could have said basilas.
Oh my god.
That was a
Hated
missed
you.
opportunity.
I would have been so mad.
I would have.
And that's why I didn't say it.
See, I would have been mad, but secretly just like, I'm so proud.
I cannot.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you guys are headed out to the location that Beastmaster pointed out to you, correct?
Yes. The little cave up the river.
Correct. Can first, Cal, can you make me a d20 roll? Not
Yes.
everything's bad.
Are you sure? Are you
Everything
sure
is
about that?
bad all the time.
Everything is awful.
Hello?
Hi, how can I help you?
Dear Foundry, what hath happened?
Hi, this is your resident dungeon master. How may I TPK you? I mean, help you today?
Okay, I don't need those settings. I was going to use the digital dice. Why the
Use-
heck?
/roll 1d20.
Where's my freaking
Hello,
fun?
Fantasy. Welcome in. Glad to have you back.
And thank you for the bagel clip, Mist. I very much appreciate you.
Thank you for the clip.
I think the worst part about that was watching the 20 come near the top and had to have it roll away.
Oh, rip.
Okay, so as you guys are starting to head out of the town and set out to the northern part of the Heartlands, looking for this basilisk cave, my brain went there, so I'm gonna go with it. Get accosted by.
I did not know. Thank you.
By by a man who comes up and goes, hello, please try this fine wine. I own a vineyard up north. It's definitely one of the best, and hands out different small tasting glasses, like kind of like a shot glass, but very kind of larger, as to kind of flatten out the wine to give it a little bit of aeration. Eldon, what's up?
Krea's gonna lean over to Cal and be like, hey, I know you know the wine people. You know this guy?
I was just gonna go, do I know this guy?
Yeah, you would know that this is you don't know him specifically, but he looks and dresses like he's from the family of Olerona.
I look awkwardly at the wine and just like, someone can have mine if they want.
Yeah, Cal, you know this guy? You know this guy's deal?
My next question is, what is the likelihood that he knows me?
Considering that you've been away for a while and your winery is rough, unless you make yourself known, he knows your family name. He's not going to know you right away.
Is he going to recognize my black eyes?
No.
Okay. Because that is very unusual, even for my family. But it's unusual for a Latran.
Correct.
Okay.
He seems not that interested in inspecting you.
Cal is going to kind of like give him a once over and go, this looks like the Olerona vineyard.
Correct.
They kind of like half say off to Kreia in response to the question. And
you nailed it. I must know the
being
wines.
Picked up by him, Cal will kind of step over. Seems a little early for decanting in the season.
Well, I mean, if you are to go to a proper wine tasting tonight, or perhaps you go to the Dragon's Inn, Dragon's Teeth, then and want a fine wine tonight, then why would you not want to test mine out today? It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Cal will take one of the offered goblets and bring it up to their nose. Cal is being immensely judgmental right now. So like there is the moment of going, this is an odd time of season to be decanting for tasting. So there is the question of, are they trying to like offload last year's vintage? Because they're saying, oh yeah, remember our amazing wine? This is about to turn, so we need to remind people that they should buy the appropriately aged vintage now and get rid of these old barrels. Or like, what's the angle here? Is Cal's kind of interest.
Go ahead and try a insight check.
Okay.
And we do have an inspiration for Tatiana from Duckburg.
Nice.
So please make sure to put that on your sheet, Tati.
He's so sweet.
I'm so sorry. Did you say insight or investigation?
You're looking for a motive, so you're looking for insight.
Thank you. I just could not remember.
I'm gonna come over here and cry. Okay, guys.
What'd you get?
13.
You take a whiff of the wine, and you get this deep mix of cherries and chocolate with the deep red wine. It is definitely finely procured, and you know that the Olerona. Sorry, an ad played and was really loud. You take a smell of the wine, and you get those hints, and it smells fresh, definitely not stale, and he's looking at you very invitingly. Please take a sip, enjoy. It's one of our finest bestsellers, actually.
Is this a profile I recognize at all? Being one of my family's competitors, or is it newer?
You tell me.
Well, like I've been out of the game for 100 years now, so there's sort of equal probability that it's a newer style
It's not newish. It's very staple.
Okay, so this is their tried and true
Yes.
product. Okay. Sure. Cal will take a sip, because why not?
I would like to, as Cal is doing that, can I, on perhaps my own little cup, make a medicine check to see if it's poisoned?
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
Okay. First roll with the new dice. And, because Krea's concerned. That is a 23.
It's not poisonous.
Okay. So this guy's just out and about in a river giving out samples of wine.
You guys are still in the city walking out. He's like at the front gates. You guys are at the front gates of this
I
place.
thought, okay. Because I had imagined we had already gone south and we're going up the river to the little cave.
That was not a travel check. That was you getting out of the town, and I wanted to encounter before you guys left. So you guys are like at the southern gates.
Okay. That makes it a lot.
I'm sorry. I do really like that image of just the like crazy register. The person who's trying to be a stranger in the river who sells wine.
Straight out of a Bethesda
less
game.
Concerned. I would have been less concerned. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
To be fair, it's not a bad thing to check for, because maybe he did secretly know that it was Cal and he was trying to poison him on it.
I mean, I can't say I wasn't tempted to pull out a hydrometer, but
sorry, what'd you say, Kreia?
I don't know. He could be some freak who goes around poisoning people. I don't know. I don't know what his deal is.
Did you enjoy it?
I don't know what he's into.
He was looking straight at you, Cal. Wide eye.
It's a reliable vintage, I would say. Hasn't changed much in 100 years.
Tried and true. It's one of our best. We sell it all over Astoria. It's just such a good complex flavors, and the undertones of the small bits and bubbles. It's so good. Feel free to take another sip.
It is wine.
Well, true, but wine is more than just wine. It's an art. It's a style. It's a creativity. It's an expression of the winemaker.
Is that true, Cal?
I agree. It is a generational art that can be passed down from mother to daughter to offspring. He says, Cal says that rather pointedly to the man in front of them.
And it is one of those recipes that truly we have tried to maintain the purity of the recipe throughout family.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name, friend.
Vestin, Olerana.
Of the family itself. Lovely to see you out amongst with your family's product.
Oh, of course. We want to make sure that any merchants coming in and out have an opportunity to enjoy a bottle of our wine.
Good for you.
I am definitely doing the awkward social thing of just protective dog energy of just trying to bodyguard the hell out of this group while we're talking to him.
Any more of you like a sample?
No, thank you. Thank you for offering, though.
Yeah, I'll try it. And I assume I'm already holding one from my medicine check, and I'll taste it. Is it dry or is it sweet?
It's definitely that heavy dry wine.
Okay. Thank you. Evelyn likes dry wines, Kreia likes sweet wines.
Aww.
I love it.
Because Krea's a little party satyr, so Kreia wants to get turned.
Did you not enjoy?
It's great.
Great.
Yeah.
Not phenomenal, not stunning, not groundbreaking, not breathtaking?
It's a very reliable vintage.
What my friend here said. It's a reliable vintage.
Well, if you do find yourself at the Dragon's Inn, make sure to ask for the Olarunner wine, and you can get yourself some of this there.
Do you have a discount code?
No, wines like this don't get discounts.
Discount Olarona if you could spell it.
Even for the heroes of the prophecy, no discount.
Excuse me?
Oh, word travels fast. We know what you're doing here.
I'm not going to get used to that. All right, thank you for your time. And I'm giving the look to the party like, we should go. We should go.
And Cal is like, yes, let's.
Yeah.
He grabs back the bottles and kind of waves you off and goes, enjoy, and we'll be here. Our wine will always be here, unlike some other wines. And just kind of turns and walks away.
That sounded like a threat.
I think he's just trying to sell stuff.
I take my hand off my sword.
Cal is like staring daggers at the back of this man as he walks away.
That felt unnecessarily aggressive.
You guys called his wine reliable.
I didn't even
Reliable
try
is
it.
a compliment.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love that he wanted us to say it's breathtaking. I'm sorry, you said it's great, but that's not a good enough compliment.
Okay,
Listen, the
so
urge to go try it and then spit it on him.
All right, Tati, we should go.
the tasting goblet that we had.
so what?
I hope he did take back the
Yes, he did. Yeah,
tasting goblet that
I
we
said he
had.
kind of grabbed those back as he was
Okay.
going.
Such a little fussy little man.
He definitely seemed interesting. I've
The
never
Olarona family has been good at making things that the public likes. And they like to reach for high society. They like to convince people who like to be seen that they are the wine that they want.
much like
So-
crafters. High artisan value. If I make it seem like you having my thing makes you higher up.
Capitalists.
Yes.
Disgusting.
I do need to know who's taking lead as you travel down south. It's going to take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to the cave pointed out by, what was his name? Ollie Sunborn.
Ranger's gonna ranger.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me a survival check to see how well you guys get there.
Okay. Would this be considered mountainous or something different?
At this point, it's not mountainous because you guys are following along the riverside.
Great. I will roll it flat then. That is a 17 on the die for a total of 21.
So what would take you about 2 hours takes you guys about an hour and a half. Diana sending up their stem fae up into the sky, looking for best routes, kind of playing around with new ways to travel with kind of another set of eyes. You find yourself getting there a little bit faster, a trodden path, and you realize that you had actually passed this on the way down. You guys come to a small inlet in the side of the river, and off to the side is this big, large cliff, and there's some there's some mountains, there's some trees, and there's some ferns kind of overgrowing and making the entrance obscured, but with Diana, with your survival check, you're able to quickly find it. Something that most likely wouldn't have saw before.
I just silently gesture to the rest of the group, kind of leading the way, and gesturing for Aaron to come back to my shoulder.
You just see this kind of bird just fly through some of the leaves, knocking the leaves out because he kind of has a weight to him. As he lands, just.
We're going to work on the graceful landing, all right? All right. What do you think? How should we approach this?
I almost wonder if there's a way that we can. Do we know? Have we been told how many are in the cave? Okay. Okay. If we can find out how many are in, I wonder if we could lure them out one by one instead of trying to fight whatever's in there all at once.
What would you suggest we use to lure them?
Well, what about, do we have any meat? Could we get some birds?
Maybe. Do you want to try shooting some? See if we can find any?
Well, I can't shoot anything, but...
Oh. I forgot if you had a bow or not. Sorry.
No, but I know... I may not have a bow, Diana, but I sure do know someone who does.
All right. I can take a hint, and I pull out my longbow, and I would like to look around to see if there is a bird I can maybe shoot for some meat.
Yeah, because if we can
Correct me. I vaguely thought Cal bartered for some meat.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just looking at my notes from our meeting with Ollie. I thought we had gotten some things.
I remember bartering.
Yes, yeah. I think so. I also have, well, actually,
we paid for information. Rations. I know that happened.
Yeah.
You also have what, Kreia?
Rations. I don't know if we can translate that. The picture on Foundry is a piece of meat.
Rations, yeah, are canonical, just like a raw piece of meat.
I can definitely shoot a bird as a backup. I don't have to, but it can't hurt to have more meat to use.
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on how many are in there and how fast we can take them out.
Yep.
But if we can use somebody's rope, maybe tie a little piece of meat on there, kind of go fishing for basilisks, and one at a time, pull them out of the cave, take them out. It might be a bit easier than trying to fight them all at once.
I pull out the rope from my bag that we've used before, and I go, I think it's a good place to start this any.
And basilisks are territorial, are they not?
I believe so, yes.
Probably.
I also think that if they think that there is something encroaching on their territory, they are going to be defensive and want to interface with it.
Question. Randall, did we ever get a yes or no on the fear of roosters? You didn't give me an answer. Are they afraid of roosters?
God damn it.
It's very important.
I am going to say that they are fearful of roosters.
Hell yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, if they're afraid of roosters, honestly, this makes it a little bit easier, because if we can lure them out one by one, and I can illusion because I think if I create a sound, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. It can be your voice, someone else's voice, any other sound you choose. I can minor illusion the sound of a rooster at the mouth of the cave once we've got one out to keep the rest at bay.
I purely am looking forward to hearing this rooster noise. I am intrigued.
Oh my god, what are we doing?
Making it more complicated than it should be.
I'm just here.
Cal is planning to make soup. That's the information we got from Ollie. We got that basilisk tongue soup was good.
Ooh.
That's what we got from the Beastmaster. They have 8 legs, spines on their back, they have tough armor, and they make good soup.
Well, good soup. I would like to try some of this good soup.
What are you guys doing?
Let's do it. Let's do the plan.
All right.
How do we intend to fight them without looking at them?
We just have to not look them in the eyes, right?
That must be hard for you guys.
I look at Tati with the blindfold. Right.
The years of practice that you do.
If you focus on the tail, then focus on the tail, swing for the middle, ignore the front half. I
think there is also the possibility that I can serve as a distraction as opposed to an attacking force.
Ooh, with your shiny.
Also a good idea. All right, let's fish for basilisk.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay.
The plan laid out.
Happening.
We're gonna take one of my rations. We're gonna tie a rope around it. Diana is going to chuck that into the cave and then pull it back out. I'm gonna be standing at the entrance of the cave, waiting to cast a minor illusion with a rooster crow to push the rest of them back into the cave to keep them all from attacking. Cal, meanwhile, is going to be serving as distraction and possibly just get them and possibly one-shotting them if they manage to make eye contact with themselves. Otherwise, Tatiana and Diana, y'all are gonna just go in swinging.
Okay.
Where's Adrian?
Oh, Adrian's also gonna go in swinging.
Adrian.
Adrian.
Adrian's hiding in a bush.
What do I have to kill?
Yeah, Adrian, who's I have his character sheet here. I promise he'll do things too. Adrian is going to be on the other side of the cave, so he can hide and do a little sneak attack.
Nice.
So,
all right.
You don't see me, and he backs up into the wall.
I found a rock. That's exactly what he'd say in this moment.
I found a bunch of cool rocks out here.
We all need to do our best Adrian impression. Doofus will love us for it.
All right.
You, Doofus.
So Diana, you're throwing you're chucking meat.
I sure am chucking meat, Magic Daddy.
The way you worded that.
Can
okay.
you tell me how far you can yeet meat?
I don't know. What are the mechanics of that magic?
Okay. I'm pretty sure there are mechanics for throwing things.
There was a whole thing about throwing people that I had a guide to at one point.
There is. Okay. Pips, yeetables, these are optionable throwing rules that I've just found on GM Binder. Calculating your yeet score. It's based on your strength modifier and character size. So your so it should be yeet score equals your strength modifier plus your size modifier. So you're a medium, so you don't add anything, so it's just your strength modifier.
Okay, I only get a +1 to this then.
Okay, so once you know your strength modifier, it's fixed number, so write it down. An object's heft score. Rather than trying to guess the weight of every single object, in reality, let's lump objects into 3 categories: light, medium, and heavy, based off of the rules for object armor class, as they represent expected density of objects. So
it's a piece of meat. It can't weigh more than 5 pounds.
Yeah, so I would assume that would count as a light object.
Yes.
So that has a weight modifier of -2. And then object. So heft score is weight mod plus size. So would a piece of meat, would you call that tiny or small? Small is like a chest or a loot. Tiny is like a bottle or a lock.
It's about tiny.
Tiny? Okay, so the heft score is -4. So, how am I supposed to calculating your yeet score.
The physics
So,
of yeeting.
We're ready to yeet. Now that we're ready to eat, now that we're ready to yeet, let's make an example character. Strength 18 Goliath, blah, 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 blah. Is it unwieldy? No. Action or attack? No. That doesn't matter because we're not in initiative. Your yeet score minus the object's heft score is how many tiles you can throw it. So
You found calculus, and my Google research gave me it counts as an improvised weapon, and you can throw it 20 feet.
This is too complicated.
All right, great. So do I need to roll? Or can I just throw it 20 feet?
No, you throw it 20 feet.
Great.
Thank you.
To be fair,
I feel like you could probably add your strength score to that base 20 feet, or not your score, your modifier.
Yeah, it's
If
only
you
a
wanted
1,
to.
so it's you 21 feet. It matters.
Sometimes it does.
I actually really
It does.
appreciated that, though, Evelyn. I want to
That's
use
some
that now.
amazing
I'll
math.
send it to you.
I feel like somebody who's a fan of GURPS made that up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. All right, I
Okay.
throw the meat.
Oh my god. Now that you're ready to eat, I mean yeet.
You see Diana take this flabby piece of steak
Oh
and
my
just
god.
chuck it
Oh,
into
I
the dark
quit.
abyss that is the cave.
Well, Tati quit. Thanks for coming.
I am being descriptive.
Please pick anything other than flabby piece of meat. I mean, listen, I didn't ask to be on stream in a descriptor as well.
Oh, I love the idea of like, how do you like your steak? I like it flabby.
I like it flabby.
I just really imagine like that, like the anime as you kind of hold it up and it just jiggles and like, throw it, anime sounds just like warbling in the air and you hear the
Fantasy Animal Vegan just said our new adventuring party name is Meat Handlers.
that's your group name now, Meat Meat. So
Meat handlers. We need to change the name of the title of the stream where it's not the Sacrificial Show, it's the Meat Handlers.
oh man. Okay.
We've been away for too long. Help us.
Okay, so you eat the meat.
Through the dark hole that is this cave.
Can we just
And all you hear is just this very wet just sound as it hits the ground.
I am going to yeet my meat into your dark hole.
It makes a wet sound.
It makes a wet sound when it connects.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
I'm in so much pain right now.
I know. She eat my meat until I need a back end of that one.
You eat my meat until I dark hole.
How did you find out the name of my porn?
Find the name of my OnlyFans.
Go to onlyfans.com/eatmeat.
/eat meat. It's just my face. It's just me holding up raw pieces of meat like this.
Okay, but somebody's definitely into that.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
probably make a lot of money doing that, to be honest.
Oh my god. So I throw the meat into the cave, it hits the ground. What happens now?
The sound is fantasy. We love you too. The sound is kind of just like.
Can we not with the
deafening
sounds? Sound happens.
as it hits the ground, and there's just it's just kind of like it's quiet. It has a little bit of echoing.
Duchess is gonna be so sad he missed this.
I know, right?
It's just quiet afterwards, and there's a long pause as you sit there in anticipation. And Diana, are you just kind of like at the cave entrance, like just holding on to the rope menacingly, or just like what's like what?
Are you asking me how I'm holding on to my meat rope? I'm so glad you asked.
I do have questions about how you're standing there. Are you holding that? Did you let the rope go? I have
No,
questions.
I'm holding the rope. You can't fish for basilisk.
Do you know
without...
how fishing works?
I mean, just
Are you
let
like
the
at the
rope go.
ready to tug the meat
Yes.
back? Okay.
Yes. As soon as I feel a
Slip
basilisk
through my
bite
fingers.
into the meat, I'm gonna pull it.
Okay. Wow.
Standing there menacingly.
Diana stands there trying to look menacing, but it is very much offset by the fact that she's just holding onto this rope, like just staring at the cave, like any minute now.
I would imagine that Diana's probably in like some sort of power stance, waiting for something to come at her.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, her or them is great. 100%. And I look at Calix and I go, so in all your studies about basilisks, how long does it take to fish for them?
All of my talking to a beastmaster in town, you mean?
Oh.
I have studied a lot of things, but basilisks was not one of them.
I'm fishing. You have to be quiet.
None of you that got me. Because I just imagine Kreia coming over both of them going.
And you're short, so just you.
Have none of you ever been fishing?
can we take a 5-minute break? I need to recover.
Do any of you have? Do any of you have dark vision?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
All of you.
No.
Kreia doesn't.
Adrian
Kreia
do
and
not.
Adrian do not.
The three
two
of us
character
do.
sheets I'm in
Everybody
charge
else
of today do not have. Do not
Okay,
have
dark
Remember, we
vision
were gonna tie them to Diana because
Correct.
they couldn't behave themselves.
Yeah.
Dark vision is 60 feet, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. So the three of you are able to look in as Kreia and Adrian are looking at the cave and just see an abyss. As you three look, you see the meat 20 feet away. At the opposite, like just over some of the ferns that have kind of started to grow on the inlet of the cave. And let me get an accurate. Let's see here.
Let's get an accurate measurement of the yeeted meat, please. I would deeply appreciate it for the immersion of my game.
You see past the meat, 40 feet, and past that 40 feet. It is also like dark. It is a deep cave.
Great.
So no basilisk movement then.
Currently, no.
Do we have to go in the cave?
Or at least you could probably assume that at this moment, your meat wafting isn't reaching the nose of the basilisk.
Okay,
Do
great.
I need to walk deeper into the cave and throw it again?
I have a thought. How many pieces do we have?
I have 5 rations.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm broken. Okay. You have 5 rations. Can we cut the rations into thirds
Mm-hmm.
and make a tiny candy trail?
A meat trail?
I wasn't going to say that. So no. A candy trail. Because Basilisk is just candy for them. I'm done with your shit.
Listen, every happy trail leads to a meat trail.
God fucking damn it!
Every happy trail leads to meat somehow.
Oh my god. Amazing. 10 out of 10.
So you're cutting it into thirds.
You
and
would
making a
like,
trail.
we want to go deeper into the cave and then as far as we can,
I would say, how long is the rope?
20 feet current. Well, the rope is 50 feet, but it's currently 20 feet in.
Okay, so if I...
Who is the fastest of us?
I can run 30 feet.
Yeah, I imagine we're all 30 feet.
Yeah.
Does it end up being Adrian?
I think it ends up being Adrian with the bonus action.
Yeah, he would be able to bonus action dash, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to risk sending someone in to sneak in and get out of there as quickly as possible?
He does not have dark vision. He's going to be completely blind to get in and out.
I was just gonna go in there and drop it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will wait here with the
We
with the
would-
rope.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Adrian having the best movement economy absolutely makes sense, and I think it's a good idea. But I just imagine him running in there with no vision, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh.
Tati, do you have a way out?
I mean, other than running back in a straight line.
Yes. If something goes wrong.
I'm covered on all ends, really.
All right.
Because I have all my spells back, and I have weapons and all the things. So yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. So what's happening?
I think Tati is going in with pieces.
Can we cut 2 of the rations
Okay.
into thirds? 6 pieces.
Okay.
I would like to move the bait. I'm trying to avoid the words. Just to move the bait another 10 feet in.
Okay.
So it's 30 feet in.
Okay.
15 feet forward.
So you are inside the cave and you have dark vision. So as you place the first meat bait, you see from that point that the cave just keeps going back. That like you have not seen any edge. The smell, as you start to get in, and you start to hear it a little bit, of rushing water, and the humidity of the cave gets dense.
Okay. It's a good thing I don't have hair to ruin. Small victories. Okay, so 15 feet in is going to put me 45 feet deep.
Correct.
How?
It keeps going.
Okay. So I'm gonna that. So okay. So I want to drop 20 feet.
45 feet in, you see a bridge, a small rickety kind of bridge, and a cliff that starts to kind of go down. It seems to be about 100 feet deep into the cave that this waterway seems to kind of run out of the cave, which you imagine connects back up to the river itself. And if basilisks do indeed swim in the water, perhaps this is how they get to and from the Rock of Estor.
Okay. Hang on.
We make a map.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a minute.
Hell yeah.
10, 20.
She's been in there a while.
So you said it's 100 feet in is where the water kind of flows out?
Yeah, but so as you go back in the cave, this water runs perpendicular to the cave that you're in, coming in from the left and out to the right, with a larger opening to the right. and there's this kind of rickety bridge that kind of leads across over this ravine.
Is the bridge also 100 feet in?
Yes, it starts at 100 feet.
Okay. So it's 10.
And it is about 25 feet long.
25. Okay, perfect. Okay, hang on. My need to make this to scale is killing me. Okay.
I'm so excited for this.
So 100 feet. I have a 25-foot bridge. And we dropped meat. So I moved the meat into the 30-foot mark. And then I moved another 20 feet. Okay. So that's... okay, so that's the low.
Did you drop one at another 20 feet in?
No. So I picked the rope bait up and moved it to 30, and then I dropped one piece at the 50 mark. But now that I can see that, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna drop another piece at the 80-foot mark.
80-foot mark.
Okay.
Okay.
I think the further and further Tati gets in, I'm looking back at Cal, Adrian, and Curtis being like, are you sure I should not go in there after her?
At this point, Tati has gone so far deep into the cave that you see them go into, and so far out of your vision, past the 60 feet.
I can't see her anymore.
Because it's darkness in the cave, right? Not dim light.
Correct.
Yeah. I must admit I am getting concerned by the fact that you guys
she could get
can't
out of there.
see. She did. And I mean, I trust Tatiana to be able to get out of stuff. I've known her long enough that I know that Tati doesn't really need people to protect her or come in and save her. But
No, I trust her, and I'm going to wait. But if it gets to be too long, I might send in Aaron.
yeah, I think that would be the better way to go rather than, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Randall, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Well, actually, no, I think I want to do this. I would like if you would allow, I would like to cast silence on the middle of the bridge, because you said it's a
Okay.
rickety bridge,
I sure did.
and I sure don't fuck around with that.
Okay. How big is silence?
It's 20-foot radius. So
Okay.
it should cover the whole bridge.
Okay.
So honestly, if I put it in the middle of the bridge, we're looking like here. 20 feet is, it's 10, 20. It'll put me at like the 95, 10, 20.
So are you going across the bridge?
Fuck, I'm afraid when you say it like that.
I'm just trying to keep track of where you are.
Yeah, I am.
So as you start to cross the bridge, albeit quietly, as you've cast silence, and as you walk across, you feel the creak in your boot as you step on the individual planks. But the sound is of just an empty chamber of just utter silence. Are you being stealthy in this moment?
Yeah.
Okay, make me a stealth roll. I'm going to say with advantage because you use silence. I'll give you that.
Oh, thank God. So 19.
A 19. The second that you get to the end of the bridge, and you kind of duck down, looking at, like, holding on to one of the posts, you notice 2 basilisks at the end of your 60-foot range vision that are kind of just chittering back and forth and digging into the ground as they kind of pick through the bits and bones that they have left of food, looking pretty excited for the next offering.
Okay, so that, based on where I'm at, so that gives me 185 feet in. Okay, and they're they're as far out as I can see.
Yeah, right at the edge of your 60-foot vision.
Okay. So I would like, because the bridge stopped at 125, the edge of my silence goes to 135. So I would like to move to the very edge of it without like kicking dirt out beyond it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's still stealthing. Because that means that this cave is at least 200 feet deep. So that gives me another 10 feet. Is there anything else? Just
no.
those two? Okay.
Just those two.
Okay. Okay. So that's two. I'm going to go ahead and place a meat there at the edge of the barrier.
Okay.
And then...
Are you two going to yeet meat towards the basilisks?
No, I'm not stupid. I am aware that I am aware that I am in this cave by myself. I am not going to do the dumb.
Okay.
Although it did cross my mind, because that still gives us 3 pieces. But with Diana having a Stimfey,
you see in this moment, because Diana, you did release your Stimfey, right?
I didn't yet. No, we were going to wait for a specific amount of time because I wanted to, because I know that we know that Tati is not only very self-sufficient, but prides herself on it. So I wasn't going to send Aaron in unless it was like hours later.
Okay, that works out. That actually, okay, because then that puts us here. God, this is going to sound super gross when I describe this. Okay, so I'm gonna. Oh God, I'm uncomfortable already.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
So what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to go out of this silence barrier without somebody else in here. This tells me already that this cave is 200 feet deep. At least that doesn't necessarily mean that we. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead, but with one of these raw pieces of meat, along. Does this thing have like little rope banisters or something?
The bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it is just like planks going across. It is like someone kind of like laid 2 beams across and then just nailed down boards to like get across. This is not like well created.
That's okay. It just makes this grosser.
We don't need no stinking OSHA.
That just makes this extra nasty. Okay.
I hate this.
Ew. So I am going to, in my hand, with 2 of these little pieces of rations. As I'm walking back across, I'm going to squeeze them like sponges.
I knew you were going to go for that. Go ahead. You wring the meat out, and as you do, you get like this deep squish, and like as it kind of curves around your fingers, it kind of drips onto the ground.
It's the point into the beams because I'm leaving a trail.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do that because because water will fuck with it. So
you start to notice as you wring it, and increase the aroma around you. One of the basilisks starts to kind of and start looking around.
Okay. Yeah, I have to do that essentially for, what is it, 25 feet?
What are you doing for 25 feet?
Making meat sponges.
Over the bridge?
Onto the wood.
Gotcha. You're about halfway across the bridge when you hear just this billowing and you hear as the basilisk starts charging towards the bridge. What do you do in this moment?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh dang. I love this for me.
This is fine. This is fine. Standing outside the cave going, I'm sure nothing is going wrong right now.
As you look back, you notice both basilisks at this point are locking onto the scent and running towards the bridge. They have now seen you.
Party! Okay, I love this.
Party.
Party.
Doing my
I'm
best.
just picturing the Katya gif.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Please, someone know I'm referencing Katya. Please. Party. I love Katya.
You do not own a token with vision in this scene. That makes me feel good. I hated that. Hello. Oh god, that's me. That's just me. Okay. Where am I at? Okay, that's the basilisk. Okay, so I am here. I have done that. I have done that. That's where everybody else is. Okay.
We'll pop over so everyone else can see what's going on. I did create a map for this.
It looks beautiful.
I want to see. I want to see.
Okay, so I am going to.
It looks like a black square.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is just black for a black square for me.
Because you guys can't see it yet.
Nope.
You're not there.
It's very pretty.
I can see it on the stream.
I like that you put mushrooms in the corner. Look at you.
Perfect. A little flavor.
I'm so proud of you. Why
Maybe
are
you'll
there
get this
fireballs?
on our Patreon. If you want access to our maps after the fact, you can get our Patreon, and we drop maps that we make every month.
I'm confused.
Mushrooms do add flavor.
Yes.
Truth. Thank you. I try my best. Not to be confused though. Randall's map and my map.
Amazing.
My little dude.
That looks good.
My little
That's
dude.
awesome.
It's just a bunch of X's. Okay. Well, I'm gonna take my
running?
full movement. Yeah, I'm running now.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my full movement, which is 30 feet. And then
Yes.
can I use my action to dash? Is that how that works?
Absolutely.
Cool.
They are too, but you'll notice that they are not as fast as you.
Okay, so let's see.
Yeah,
5,
basilisks are a little
10,
lumbering, aren't
15,
they?
20, 25, 30. That's my movement. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's my dash.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and then my bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and cast Spiritual Weapon
Okay.
because I'm not about that life. I am crush special weapon lasts for duration until you cast spell. You cast spell. You can make
So, as you cast your bonus action, you guys notice as Tati is running in. At this point, they are just at the precipice that you guys are able to see them kind of pop through some of the darkness.
Great, there she is.
As you see Tati casting spiritual weapon.
Spiritual weapon is so
This is bad. This is bad. This is bad.
Okay, not
from
good.
behind me, you guys see this dark green blade just kind of like grow out of thin air.
I haven't seen her do that yet.
It's essentially it's a second claymore. This long dark green blade. It has the guard on it is a woman's mouth that is wide open with kind of like for flavor, like two twisted snakes out to the side, and just that's really the only important thing. And then it's got like shimmery gold eyes, just like hers do. But this bitch just kind of like pops up out of nowhere, and she's like, "Okay, run! Okay, run! Okay, run! Okay, run!"
All right then.
I'm going to give you guys all a round to do anything that you guys would like to.
Okay.
What am I gonna do?
Do we? I imagine the two of us with dark vision cannot see the basilisks charging after.
No.
Okay.
Can we feel the ground shaking?
No, they're not. They're not large monsters.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have a round to prepare something.
Cool. I'm going to. Are we rolling initiative and then doing this, or can we just kind of do?
Go ahead and just tell me what you want to do for this round, and then we'll roll initiative.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on. I can only cast it as. I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability, Bear's Endurance on. Can I see Tatiana?
No, you cannot. You just hear them saying like, "Oh shit, this isn't good," but you don't see Tata yet.
Oh, buddy,
Okay.
you totally
Oh no,
moved me.
it's a touch spell. I'm gonna actually reach over and touch Diana's arm and cast Enhance Ability with Bear's Endurance. You now have advantage on Constitution checks, and you gain 2d6 temporary hit points. Because I assume the visual effect of the basilisks is that I assume that's Constitution.
Maybe.
So, I'm gonna do that. And let me roll you 2d6. So, ooh, Diana, you get 12 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. And this is concentration, so.
Good to know.
So we will not be using the map because you guys are going to be outside of the cave when they fully get out, because they only have a movement speed of 20, so even at dashing it's going to take a hot minute. So that's why I'm allowing you guys to prep for a turn, and then they're going to come at once Tati's out of the cave and you guys have prepped, then you're going to see the basilisk come out, and then it's going to be Theater of the Mind. I only have you on this page so I can get the initiative, just so you guys know.
Okay.
I have a question.
Diana, you're muted.
Thank you. The first thing that I would like to do is I would like to bonus action Amazon battle cry.
Okay.
So this is the first time that you guys have seen this. You see Diana. Sorry, I had the flavor and then I lost it.
Oh no.
I yell a word that I have. Hang on, I need to find it. There's a very specific word that I picked for her. She yells prostasia, which is protection in Greek. And you see her like eyes light up. Her hair gets wild. I have advantage on attacks against creatures of my favorite enemy. Basilisks are beasts, so you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, and I have advantage on saving throws against being frightened or paralyzed until I take damage.
Okay.
And then for my action, I would like to prepare my swords.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Could I have, as a bonus action, given a bardic to Cal?
Sure.
Cool.
Anything else you guys doing in prep?
Cal is going to be backing away from the entrance and using their Eldritch Invocation to cast Mage Armor.
Okay. As you guys all get ready at the edge of the cliffside cave, waiting for the basilisk to come charging out, Tatiana comes rushing out, kind of takes a pause, turns around, and it's quiet for just a moment as you're waiting for them to come out, and you start to feel or hear the pattering of feet as these two lizard-like creatures start kind of crawling out, and everyone except for Evelyn and Adrian are able to see them come faster. As you kind of see them coming in, you all avert your gaze to not look directly at them. And they reach the edge of the cave. I now need you all to roll initiative.
Wonderful.
Did Adrian have anything to prep in that prep phase?
There's looking at this, I don't think there's anything that he would have been able to prep. Besides just pulling out his daggers.
I'm here.
Whenever you're ready, Randall, for initiative.
Let's update combat. Diana, what's your roll?
14.
Hey.
Who?
Tati.
Oh, nat 20.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Attacker saving throw.
Yep, only attacker saving throw, unfortunately. So that is
Kreia.
9.
Adrian.
If I can, I don't know where he's in. I don't know where. Oh, there it is. Okay, 14. He has the other character sheet type, so my character sheet and his character sheet are formatted very differently, so it's very hard to find things on his character sheet.
As you guys rush forward, or as you guys kind of wait, looking at the edge, they both get to the edge of the cave and are looking out. And I'm assuming you guys are kind of all like at a 20 foot kind of semicircle around the edge of the cave. As these two basilisks kind of just, and then they kind of look around, their tongue piercing out between their teeth as they kind of lick the air and just kind of gaze looking around. We're going to start off with Tati on deck. And we're just going to say Basilisk 1 is the one on the left and Basilisk 2 is the one on the right. And theater of mind this. Because you guys went out of the cave and I didn't prep that part of the cave.
Sorry.
Chew faster.
Listen, bitch.
Swallow harder.
Okay. Anyway. Oh wow.
Fuck, excuse me.
Yeah, seriously. I'm sorry, the computer screen's still not big enough.
The thirst is real.
We love you, Grays.
Truth.
True.
Where are they at? They're behind me. Oh shit. Okay. I don't know. I suppose I'm just gonna keep going.
Keep going. What?
Out of the cave.
You were already out of the cave.
Oh,
This map isn't. We're not using the map. This is theater of the mind here.
I missed that.
And so we are all outside of the cave, looking at the entrance, and the two basilisks are right at the entrance of the cave.
Okay.
I only have you on the map so I can put you in initiative order.
Oh shit. Well, that makes me feel better.
Because you guys said not fuck that cave.
Fighting in an enclosed space, that sounds dangerous.
I'm in danger.
I made the cool things. I put mushrooms on the map.
It is cool.
It's very cool. We also fished for basilisks and yeeted some meat, and thought we'd run out some meat.
You do see as the basilisk on the right kind of looks up, one of the meat that Tati put on the ground kind of just hanging out of their mouth as they kind of just.
Hey, Kreia, it worked.
Well then. Okay.
Kinda.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose I'm gonna. Oh, it was a. Okay. Well, there's really not a whole lot I can do till they get closer because I'm not wasting a. Well, actually, no, I am going to waste a spell slot on them.
They're about 20 meters away. 20 feet away.
I knew what you meant. That was so funny. I'm gonna waste a whole ass cantrip. And we're gonna go ahead and cast Sacred Flame on the one on the right.
Okay.
Make me a dex save.
A dex save. Ooh,
Yes, please.
ooh. Oh, not having that. Make the roll. Make the roll. Oh, have I? No. Okay, we're going manual.
Fuck it, we'll do
That
it live.
is a 10.
That is a fail. I have a 14, so you take 6 whole points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And that's it.
Tate, are you immune to petrification?
No, we thought I was. I am not.
Okay. So you see as Tate kind of holds their hand up and casts the flame on the ground that the basilisk is at.
But you and I had decided that I could still sort of look them dead on because I don't use my actual sight.
Also true. Okay. And you see as kind of fire flames gonna go blow up around the basilisk, and it kind of like pulls its feet up, kind of like stamping it back down, trying to put the fire out for a second. That basilisk, oh, I should put begin combat. The basilisk is gonna kind of turn its head towards you, Tati, seeing that you're the one that caused the flame with the flick of the wrist, and it is going to use its whole movement, 20 feet, to kind of run up to you and take a big bite out of you. As it goes for your leg, it's going to do a 21 to hit. Oh shit. It's going to do 19 points of damage. Some of that is piercing, some of that's poison.
Point of order, Randall. I said I had prepared an attack to hit whenever one came close. Would this be considered close?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, is it 5? Are you talking melee or ranged?
Melee.
Melee, they are. Would you be next? Would you have been next to Tati?
Yeah, I think so.
Then, yeah, sure.
Great, so I can get one and not the other. I am going to then quickly roll my 2 attacks.
At disadvantage because you can't look at it directly.
Yep, sure cannot.
And I do not take the poison condition. Petrification, yes. Poison, no.
Gotcha.
Okay, as I remember, I have to pull up my weapon on here. Okay. So this is with disadvantage. Let's see how I do. That is a 10 to hit with disadvantage. I'm guessing that's a no. Yeah, roll with disadvantage again. Yeah, that's not going to do it. That's a 9. So I swing twice and no luck. One with one sword, one with the other.
You see as Diana kind of like takes their like kind of like peeking and just like taking some things, and you aim a little high, thinking that the basilisks are a lot larger than they are.
Okay.
Cal, it is your turn.
Cal is going to back up a little bit more to try to draw them further out of the cave, if I can do so without attack of opportunity.
Okay.
And
yeah, they're so far enough away.
Just kind of jump up and down with the
Plate
mirror.
in your hand.
Basically, yeah, with the platter.
Can you make me an intimidation check?
I can. Is that taking my action? Or can I hold an action?
No, that's gonna definitely take your action.
Okay, great. Intimidation check. Ooh, very nice. That's a
Nice.
24.
You look over to see, or as you start to like kind of jump up and down, holding the platter in front of you. The one on the basilisk on the left kind of starts to slither and looks towards the platter itself. Are you holding this platter like I think you're holding it?
Up, braced in front of me,
Okay.
like portrait.
Yep. So in this moment, the basilisk catches itself in its reflection and is going to have to make a Constitution saving throw.
I was right. It was Constitution.
It was con. Thank you for the bear's endurance.
And I shit you not, I rolled a natural fucking 1.
First,
That's a saving throw. That's somebody I can see. That's a verse.
That's a verse.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, for the audience at home, with the homebrew, or within this module, the College of Epic Poetry, I get these things called epic verses, and as I get a certain number of epic verses, dependent on the size of the party, so when I get to 5 epic verses, I get to add a cool thing to my bardics. So this is my first verse.
I'm so
It's very
excited.
exciting.
That's awesome.
So that is, I believe that's a nat one on a saving throw. I think that's comedy
Correct.
because I just had it up and then it disappeared. And then I
I
guess
don't have a
closed it.
bonus action this turn, so that's my turn complete.
So you guys look over as you see this. Wow. This basilisk with gaze astride, its eyes aflamed, a lethal hue, and a search of prey in a fearsome view. It looks up at the platter and it turns straight into stone. Yet fate, it seems, would intervene, unveiling true secure routine. A mirrored pool, serene and clear, a trap that held a fate severe. And it crackles as its stone just starts to go from its own eyes. The stone kind of just cascades. I love using cascades. Kind of goes and up its face and down its back, kind of petrifying back to its tail. And as it hits the tail, you hear a big crack. The one on the right is, or left is out for the count.
Awesome.
Is that the end of your turn, Cal?
I have nothing else, yes.
Diana, it's up to you.
Great. So I am going to summon Aaron to me because Aaron goes on my turn, and rather than having Aaron attack, I would like to have Aaron give me the help action to flatten my attack rolls. Because Aaron is a metal thing. I don't think can be, I mean, I don't know, it's up to you. Petrified is not a condition immunity for it. If you want me to like roll a saving throw for it or anything. But I'm wondering if that's possible, if I can use Aaron to give me the help action to flatten my attacks against the basilisk.
Forgive me, can you see through the eyes of your construct?
No, I cannot, but it can communicate to me in squeaks and squawks.
I will allow it to. I'm going to say no, because then you could use it to get advantage on everything. So
that's sometimes what you do with Beastmaster Ranger companions. So I just wanted to check because a lot of times that's what companions do. But if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. Instead, I am going to have it attack the basilisk with its talons. The first thing I'm going to do, you see this little bird launch at the basilisk and go attack it with its talons. That's a 19 to hit.
19 to hit. As you see the little bird kind of come down, grabbing onto one of the scales of the basilisk and kind of ripping it up. it's able to kind of pull one of the scales out and inflict some damage.
So it's
How
only
much
going to be a
damage
D6, but I rolled a 6, so it's 6 damage and distracting nuisance. When the stim phase successfully hits a creature with its talons, that creature cannot make opportunity attacks until the beginning of its next turn. So you just see this little metal bird just like shrieking and clawing at the basilisk's back.
And as it starts to kind of pull up some of the hide, we're gonna go to break. So we'll be back at about let's just do 9, 10, or 10 after the hour. Get some water, get up, move around, stretch your body, and we'll be back shortly after this break. Thank you guys for stopping by, and we'll see you soon. Where's the break one? This one. Hello and welcome back to the Magic Academy, where a bunch of us are fighting for our lives in a basilisk cave.
A bunch of us is. Who else has been bit?
I have a shiny plate.
Tati's dying.
I was like, let's be real.
What are you at hit points wise? 5? Okay, I got you, boo.
I have lost my.
You have lost a tipsy. That's what.
More importantly, can we establish why do we know why Foundry does this? Every single time you put tokens on, one of us always ends up
Sideways.
Well, Cal is upside down this time.
Oh, I did that intentionally.
Okay. I was
Good
like,
job,
Sorry,
you
it was
noticed.
intentional.
are you a bat hanging from the
Maybe.
cave?
You don't know.
I don't know.
So before we went to break, we had threw meat around in a cave to lure basilisks out, which was mostly effective, and got Tati into a little bit of trouble as they kind of locked eyes with their new target. As you guys ran out, realizing that the basilisks were not quite as fast as you, you were able to kind of prep outside of the cave, seeing Tati running out, casting a weapon. As you get to the edge, and you guys all turn around, looking towards the beginning of the cave, and they start pouring out these two. It's not pouring; it's just two. Two of them step outside of the cave. One of them takes a big chunk out of Tati's leg, while another one looks over at Cal, who is flourishing their shiny plate. It locks eyes with itself, turning into stone and petrifying itself. As Diana then has their Stimfey come in and start ripping the scales off the basilisk. It is now Diana's turn, with
Great.
Adrian on deck.
Is there a way that I can attack this thing at all without disadvantage as if I'm looking at another part of its body? Or will it be if I am looking at this thing at all, I will have the effects?
It'll pretty much be a disadvantage, yeah.
Okay, but if I just attack it, will I immediately get petrified, or will it be a Constitution saving throw?
It'll be a con save.
Do I want to risk the cons? I have advantage on con saves.
What would Diana do?
Diana would 100% attack flat and risk the petrification. So Diana is going to run forward, and I am going to attack. Well, first I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark. So I reach out my hand. Yes.
Don't forget you have advantage on con saves from
Yes.
enhance ability.
Thank you. You're the best. I'm going to run forward, cast Hunter's Mark on the remaining basilisk, which will give me a d6. If I hit, make sure I get rid of that spell slot. Heck.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to attack it twice.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make me an attack roll.
14 to hit, probably misses.
14 does not hit. Before you can make your second attack, I need you to make me that con save.
Great, with advantage. That is for the Constitution save ace, 18.
You pass.
Great, I'm going to attack it again.
Okay.
That is a 19 on the die for a total of 24.
That hits.
Great. I am going, it's with my short sword, and because I have offhand fighting for my fighting with 2-weapon fighting, I get the extra damage, which is great. So this is 1d6 plus 3 plus another d6 for Hunter's Mark. That is a total of 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay.
And as I hit it, I'm trying to push it towards the bladder.
Yeah, you kind of like knock it with the back of your hilts. Kind of, it dodges its eyes as you go in for the second hit, and it kind of like gives off a little bit of a screech as you kind of hit it across the side of its face, knocking it towards the left, over towards Cal. It doesn't lock eyes with Cal. It's not interested right now. Adrian, it's your turn. I'm assuming that's into your turn, right, Diana?
That's it.
All right.
All right, Adrian is going to Is there? I very rarely play rogues. So is there a way for me to get sneak attack?
He can go behind him, which would give him flanking. Flanking should give him sneak attack, if I remember my D&D lore correctly.
Yes, if you if you have an ally within 5 feet of you, or you are flanking, have advantage in any way, you get sneak attack.
Okay, cool. And if I'm attacking it from behind, I'm not technically looking at its eyes. So do I get to? Can I roll it flat, or do I have to look away and do disadvantage?
That one, it would make sense that it wouldn't be looking at you. You could roll that flat.
Nice.
I'm just
technically with advantage because you're
it.
flanking.
Okay, with advantage. Cool. I need to fix my lighting situation. I need to put a little light underneath the little thing holding up my computer because I cannot see my dice.
No.
That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so how much sneak attack does he get?
How many D6 in a level 3?
At first level, strike steadily. Once per turn, deal an extra one. Is attack with CC. Don't need advantage. I do not know how to calculate how much sneak attack.
All right, let me look it up really quickly.
Thank you. I don't play rogues.
It should only do, it should be adding it as you level up, I believe. Actually, Cherney's the resident rogue. Level 3, how many sneak attack dice do you get?
You would think I'd remember.
You're supposed to be the resident
think.
rogue.
At beginning
I
of
also
first
haven't
level,
played one
you know
in
how
a
to strike
while.
steadily and split follows. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d6 to one of your creatures you hit.
2d6.
2d6.
I looked it up. 2d6.
Okay. Yep. Cool. So that is on top of the D4 for the dagger. I don't want that one. I want yeah, no, I don't want that one. I want this one. So that is a total of 15 damage. On the first, because he also has in his inventory a second dagger listed as a bonus action.
He's got 2 weapon fighting as well.
Yes.
Okay, so I can make another attack.
Correct.
Yep.
With the other
But
dice.
it does not have sneak attack on it.
But it does not have sneak attack on it. Okay,
Correct.
cool. Thank you. I appreciate y'all's help.
Yeah. You don't normally play a rogue. Happy to help.
17 to hit.
17 hits.
Yeah.
Okay, so another D4 actually it should be a D4 plus something. So that last one should have another plus 3 to it, so it should have been 18 damage.
Okay.
And then this one is another 5 damage.
The 5 damage. Okay.
And that is everything that Adrian, I assume, can do.
You can do a cunning action as a bonus action if you want.
Already did a bonus action with
Right.
the second dagger.
That's
So,
right, of course. Thank you.
I think that's it.
The basilisk kind of whimpers for just a minute as it kind of like starts to grow sluggish and starts looking around, licking the air. Kreia, you're up with Tati on deck.
Okay. Kreia is going to do something. Oh, I know what Kreia is going to do. The first thing Kreia is going to do is a bonus action. Do I want to use my other second level spell slot? I think I do. I'm going to use second level slot to cast Healing Word as a bonus action on Tatiana. For 5 hit points. And I'll write that down. 5 HP for... totally... I rolled... Oh, plus my spellcasting ability modifier, so it's actually more than that. So it's plus... So it's another plus 3, so it's actually 8. And I'll... so you get 8 hit points back. You're welcome. That's my bonus action. For my action, I'm gonna go ahead and I could do the... What direction, relative to Cal, what direction is the basilisk facing? Because I want to try and steer it towards Cal.
It's about 130 degrees off.
Okay. So I am going to... Is it 130 degrees to
your left?
To my left.
Continuing down that semicircle that you guys had kind of gone on, because Diana's right next to you.
Yeah. So to the side of the basilisk, in an attempt to get it to turn more towards Cal, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion and make a rooster crow.
Okay. Make me... No, you wouldn't have to make a check on that. So as you snap your fingers and a rooster appears and...
So can I flavor it?
Go for it.
So, because Minor Illusion is from the satyr thing, I have to use my little pan flute. So you see Kreia pulls out like the bonus action healing word Tatiana, and then they pull out their pan flute and they make they hold it in such a way that they make a wretched noise that sounds very similar to a rooster crow. It sounds a bit more like a rooster screaming in pain, but they like try to hold it. They hold it in a way so that it makes just a like horrible noise, and because it's magic, it like sounds like it's coming from right next to the basilisk. Because it's either a sound or a visual. I can't do both at once.
Okay, so the sound just radiates from next to Cal as the basilisk.
No, because I want it to turn towards Cal, so it's on the other side of the basilisk.
Gotcha. It kind of looks over towards the area that it was at, and rolling like shit on my end. He's gonna kind of just like rear up and kind of look over and start to stumble backwards as it kind of it gets up onto its back forelegs, its front forelegs, just kind of in the air, kind of backing up. In this moment, it's still gonna be Tati's turn.
Neat. Neat. Sorry, I'm inhaling food. I did not realize how hungry I was.
Spaghetti.
Let's see what we can do.
Throw that shit on the wall.
Okay.
Pretty sick noodles.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna attack it with my claymore, followed up with the bonus action of the spiritual weapon.
Okay, roll to hit.
Where is my da? Why do I suddenly not remember how to do the thing? Okay.
Well, you ask nicely.
This is an 18 for the claymore.
18 hits.
And then 17 for the spiritual weapon.
17 hits.
Sweet. Claymore is such a sad. It has a sad when I attack. It does. It's only like listen, dude. It's.
What's your damage?
2d4 plus.
It's a sad claymore.
They're just sad. Given its weight, I feel like it needs more, but what do I know? So I need that. You go away, and then on top of that, Spiritual weapon is a D8 plus my spell casting. Please stop doing that. Sorry, I'm trying to get all my crap together at once. I am a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2d8 plus. What the fuck is my spell modifier? Do I not know how to fit it? Am I lost?
Must be.
Wisdom. Saving throw modifier +4. There we go. I figured it out, guys. Don't worry. So the claymore. Oh my god! Pick up the triangles. That is a whopping 5 plus 7 points of slashing damage, followed up by max damage out of the claymore. That's 8 plus 4 for 12 points of force damage.
As the beast, it kind of recoils back, and its sleek and scaly skin is bearing visible wounds and lacerations, this oozing dark and viscous blood. You go in for your attack with your claymore, now able to kind of hit the stomach of this beast, seeing these vibrant colors on its body. Would you go ahead and teach the class?
Yeah.
Yes. So basically this is my favorite thing. So she's the only person who can look these dead on. Tati's just gonna kind of take a big old step forward, and she's gonna sling just almost like uppercut it essentially with the blade into its gut, and kind of from around the back of her shoulder in like a big and a big lunar pattern. Essentially this spiritual claymore is going to come up behind it, and it's going to smash in next to hers, and it's going to kind of jut them both through the body and slice it clean in half. And as it does, right, like her sword goes through, and then as the spiritual weapon comes through it, they almost look like sparks when it connects with the other sword. Sparks of greens and golds kind of erupt from the body of the basilisk as it's cut in half.
Are there more?
Diana, as you look down into the depths of the cave, it is eerily quiet, and you don't see anything else coming out of the cave.
Doesn't mean I trust it.
Maybe we should all go in and take a look around.
I think now that we've pulled at least 2 out, it will be safer for us to go in. Do we all in agreement? Cal, perhaps you should take lead. You have the platter. Unless you want me to carry it or someone else.
I can.
I think we're gonna head in with the platter in front of us like a battering ram.
In a single file line, you guys all start to head down this cave, seeing that the pieces of meat that were left on the ground were swiftly eaten from the basilisk as they were coming out of the cave. A trail of blood kind of leading out as they kind of dribbled a little out of their mouth. You are able to kind of step back into the cave and come across that same bridge about 100 feet deep into the cave. That very rickety bridge. Looking across to the other side about 60 feet, the bridge is 25 feet across, so you can see about an additional 35. So you don't see the back of the cave, but you see what used to be the area of the basilisks, and it looks pretty barren.
Only 2.
Ollie said there was a family.
Sometimes a family can just be 2 dads.
I'm worried that these were the children.
Oh, that is a concern.
I think
in that moment, you hear poof, poof. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
You motherfucker! would it be possible to, with Krea's limited knowledge of the natural world, be able to like see if there are other, see if like if these are the only two creatures living in this cave? Does the cave continue past this area? Like, are there other routes? Or...
It goes past the bridge. Are you gonna walk over that way to investigate? Are you gonna go over and investigate? Are you like what are you doing here?
I'm the asshole who's gonna ask how Krea can see.
Oh, fair point.
Krea cannot see right now.
Krea can't see. Krea is, I imagine, then holding on to someone's arm, unable to see. Probably Tatiana's.
I think as I look ahead, I go, I think it's what we need to check. I don't believe they would be the only ones. And I'm going to walk over the bridge.
The silent spell would have fallen at this point, correct?
100%.
So as you walk across the bridge, creating a large creaky noise, the wood that is created here is old, worn, and torn. And you get across to the other side, and you can see this large kind of round, rotundous room with bits of bones and decaying skeletons. You see bits of old cows, probably from other sacrifices that have come down, kind of stacked up into a corner, a bunch of decaying cow corpses. You don't see anything else.
And that's the end of the cave. There's no, like Krea just said, there's no other routes. There's no other, like, tunnels.
No, it is just kind of this ending room. Yeah, just the ending room.
The only other way out is through the water to the right.
I wonder if the rest of them just aren't here right now.
That was my thought as well.
Can someone who knows things about nature possibly check around since I can't see, to see if there's evidence of other creatures living here, or if it looks like only two were here?
I don't have very good nature.
Can someone make me an investigation check?
I'm there. I can make one if you like, unless someone else would like to.
I can help.
Okay. Awesome. I will roll with advantage then.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
As you look around, kind of perusing through some of the mud, looking for what you would assume is tracks of the different basilisks, you realize that there are no larger size. Like, there isn't like a large form of basilisk. What you got encountered was probably as large as basilisks get. You also recant with the natural 20 Ollie's demonstration of territorialness of basilisks, and so you know that they're probably not trying to come in like big groups. They're not herd creatures. So you find often sets of tracks that are kind of leading together in and out. And specifically, you see going in and out of the water, 2 footprints in and out.
So this would be just these guys' cave, like, based from what I can tell, this is just the 2 basilisks that we fought, and this is their home territory. Okay. I return to the group and I say, that's it. That's all I see. Remember what you told me, Cal, when you and Krea were listening to Ollie. They're very territorial, so it would make sense that maybe only 2 of them were in this cave. But that's it. We have destroyed them.
It still seems odd that it would be described as a family and there's still only 2. I wonder if there's other caves.
Maybe.
Or we're not seeing everything that's here.
I looked as much as I could, and there was just nothing.
Sure.
The other way out is in the water to the right.
And there were 2 tracks there, 2 sets of tracks, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So
where do you think the water goes?
To the sacrificial rock,
Slunking.
correct? Or do we have to go in?
We might.
It's up to you.
Or we could follow the river down.
I almost wonder if we should follow the river down, go to the rock of Estor, and see if there are any openings there.
People did seem to be gathering today, which seems early given when the sacrifice is scheduled.
Yeah, it's not for a few more days.
Yeah, why would people already be gathering?
Preparations. A sacrifice that big would likely require some event planning.
Oh, okay.
Unless there's preceding events. Smaller sacrifices to lead up to the larger sacrifice. That's
So
my concern.
You can also... Yes.
How well can you track in the water?
As well as I can in most other places.
Do we want to see how fresh their travel through the water might have been?
With that Nat 20 investigation, would I have been able to tell how fresh it was, or would I need to make another survival check?
The tracks,
Yeah.
They were pretty fresh. I mean, they go in and out of that water all the time.
They looked like they had just come back in, perhaps from a hunting trip or getting, more sacrificial animals. I agree with Kreia, though. If we want to double check our bases, let's head to the rock and go down the river.
Better to be certain than not, I think.
Exactly.
I think it might be worth checking out so that we can get... then at least we can get an idea of if there are more where they come in and out. Maybe it is just... It is also possible that it is just the two. Maybe they were a mated pair and Ollie considers... And Ollie is like, a mated pair. That's a family of them. Or maybe there's other caves. Who knows?
It's a reasonable interpretation. I think we want to double check ourselves given what we are going to be risking when the sacrifice actually happens.
We already have Harpies to fend off. We might as well make sure we've gotten all of the basilisks we can.
Exactly. I agree.
I think we're going to head out of the cave, if everyone's cool with it, and go down the river to the rock.
So the you guys are south of the town, so you'd have to go back north to go to the Rock of Esther towards the city of Astoria. Do you guys want to check the kind of walk along the river as you guys head back up north?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, who's leading?
Yeah, I think it would be good for us to keep an eye out for any other caves that look similar to the one we've just encountered.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Diana, go ahead and make me that survivor roll.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Rolling great.
I was going to
today,
offer to
guys.
help, but never mind.
I'm good, thank you.
Fuck, you're up.
No, I'm just kidding.
You head. You're about an hour into the journey, and you see some caves that you kind of have been kind of going by, and with 60 feet of dark vision, you're able to see into most of these spots, these little inlets on the side of the cliffs that you are able to kind of take a glance-through look and see that there isn't any immediate danger. One of them had a few snakes in them. One of them, most of them were just empty. None of them had the same type of acclimation, I'm making it a word, of the river kind of running through. They're just small, dry, deserted cave spots. So
like when you're going along somewhere in Breath of the Wild and you find just not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and you find just the most boring cave.
It's just boring cave after boring cave. This is going to slow your journey down back for a while, looking at all these different caves. So it's probably going to take you about 3 or 4 hours to get back.
Better safe than sorry.
So it's about... if we left Vulcan's at like noon, it took us 2 hours to get there.
It took us an hour and a half to get there.
An hour and a half to get there. That brings us to 1:30. We were
About a half
maybe
hour
at the
fighting.
cave maybe at the cave for a half hour.
Mhm.
That brings us to 2. 4 hours would bring us to 6.
A half hour.
Well, you guys were discussing outside the cave how to go in the
Planning
cave.
and stuff.
Tati
I was
went
like,
into
we
the
had one
cave.
round of combat.
Yeah.
Combat was
really
fast, but you
We
guys
didn't spend
were.
much time fighting. I would say we were maybe there 15 minutes, but that would have been my estimation.
Yeah.
But I think then we are. So it's about 6 o'clock, depending on the season. It is that. I assume it's summer. What season are we in? I'm trying to determine how much daylight we have left.
It is summer, yeah.
Cool.
Long
So we
night right
probably
now.
have at least another 3.5 hours, 3-ish hours of daylight left.
Cal is beginning to realize how long it's taking to get back to town and is getting a little bit grumpy. Like, not really saying anything, but is clearly not pleased.
Cal, we wanted to double check, didn't we?
Yes, this is the right choice. I'm just thinking about the hide and other parts of that basilisk that we left behind without harvesting before we left.
Oh. What would you have used it for?
That is a very tough hide.
We can make it into armor. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I was just so happy none of us got turned into, basilisk food.
I agree. And the tongue could probably be sold at market and get us some more funds and perhaps other parts of it as well. I don't think it's worth going back for now. I just wish I'd thought of it before.
Well, if we find more of them, we'll make a darn good soup.
Basilisk hide tuxedo.
Hell yeah.
Basilisk chaps.
Basilassless chaps.
There we go. That's what it was.
Oh, it hurts me.
I think as we make it into town, I look at the group and I just kind of, without speaking, kind of pointedly look at Kreia. It's just like, you have the itinerary. What are we doing?
All right, we've got about 3 hours of daylight left, by my estimation. If it's about 6 o'clock now, Kreia looks at their wrist, obviously not wearing a watch.
Little sundial is there.
You want to buy a sundial?
The guy selling wine the whole time had a trench coat with sundials.
That's literally those are the vibes he gave me, and I haven't been able to get that out of my head.
Straight up.
I just picture this dude opening up his jacket.
Sundial?
You want to try my family wine? And I'm like, no, thank you.
I estimate that we've got about 3 hours of daylight left, so we don't want to linger here too terribly long, because I don't think Adrian and I are not much use once it gets dark outside, unless you want me to hold a candle in one hand and cast spells with the other. Which theoretically I could do, but I'd prefer not to. So I think we make our investigations. We should investigate around here, see if we can find another entrance. It might be under the water, just because of the water should be flowing south, so technically the water would probably have been flowing into the cave, because if we're heading north, water's back to the city, water flows south, so it should be probably the water is flowing into the cave, which will make it a little bit harder, I think, probably to find said. I'm overthinking this, and I know I am.
Yeah, so the water, specifically the water leading out of the cave that was heading north, was flowing down from the mountains to the city. So it was flowing to the city.
Yeah, so then flowing, because from the image it goes past the city and then continues south, right? The river. So I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
I'm just overcomplicating it in my head and trying to figure out the easiest, the how we are going to find possibly how deep is this river?
It's about 10 to 20 feet deep at its deepest.
Oh, okay.
That's
This
a lot.
This is a large. It's not like a small creek. It is
Yeah.
a river.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So our plan exactly, are we by the rock right now?
Are you guys in town? You guys have gone back to town, right? Like at this point.
We're not going into town. We
You
are
guys are,
still
like,
by
out.
the
Yeah,
river,
we're
but we
near
are
the
outside of town.
gate-ish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're like right by the gate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, I don't know. What else do we do?
I think we look around for any sort of entrance that we can find, any sort of cave, any sort of other, if you can, any sort of diversion. Yeah, I think we just have to see if there's another entrance, or did Ollie tell us what time of day basilisks are most active? Like, are they more active in the day or at night?
No, but you guys can look on the side of you guys can look at the side of the river beside the cave.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to figure out
why
if
don't
it
you
would be
go
worth
ahead-
it to wait around until night to see if they come out.
No, they don't really have like a set schedule of nocturnal, non-nocturnal, but they do typically kind of come out whenever someone is being sacrificed. So if you want to go up on the rock and stand there, go for it.
That could be a good way to lure them out. If one of us, just goes and sits on top of that rock, it could be the best way to lure them out. I can scramble up there with my little goat hooves. It's a
Can you
rock.
get out of there?
Can I get off the rock? Yeah.
In water surrounded by basilisks?
I mean, how good are these things at climbing?
I'm more concerned at how good they are at swimming.
Well, if it's a big tall rock and I'm on top of the rock, and
So as you look over towards the Rock of Astor, it is a small island that is roughly 45 feet in diameter. In the center of the small island is a sacrificial rock that you can see a well-trodden path kind of going through like from your side of the river to the rock. And chains are tied up to there's like a rope around the rock, a very dense rope, and chains kind of dangle from the front of it.
Well, it's probably wide enough that, like, as long as I keep a certain amount of distance, and I can also, what else can I do? I have things. I'm sure I have things I can do. I can also scare them off with the rooster crow. So if I can get them to reveal themselves, and I can frighten them.
Are there still people around the rock right now?
Yes and no. There's kind of always a crowd that is around the rock at any given time. They are always kind of like looking and waiting. But this late at night, there's not a lot of sacrifices. They tend to happen. They tend to happen at like noonish. But they're not happening at this current moment.
I guess my concern is if one of us just gets on the rock in front of a bunch of people. So you want to just climb up there and see if any basilisks come out?
Do we want to stage it like a brag, or do we want to try and make it as subtle as possible?
I think maybe like a brag. I'm not very good at that kind of thing, but I have a feeling we're going to attract attention no matter how sneaky we try to be. Might as well frame it like it's deliberate. But I'm open to other ideas.
What are you guys doing?
What do you mean by a brag?
We make a scene of it.
Like, oh, I dare you to go up there. I'm gonna fucking do that. Like that kind of thing.
I mean, we can. Yeah.
Like I dare you to get on the sacrificial rock.
I mean, it might help draw the attention of the basilisks to make a big scene of it.
I was thinking more about the common folk who are wandering around and having thoughts about the sacrificial stone.
Yeah, that was my concern with it, was there are people around, and if one of us just scrambles onto the rock, it's going to get the attention of the people who are there.
Yeah.
People are going to be curious, whereas if we give them something to assume as to why we are going down to the rock, or you are going down to the rock, then they will just assume that it's a prank or a stunt.
Prank. I mean, pranks gone wrong, get a lot of views.
Views on what?
Sorry, what did you say, Tati?
Vader talk.
I hurt myself on the meta.
I think I wrong. Get a lot of views. I'm sorry. What? Through your scroll?
In the Coliseum, obviously.
People like Diana. Poetry about pranks gone wrong.
There it is.
All right. Who's daring Kreia?
Who's going to be the most convincing?
Diana just immediately hides.
And who besides me is good performance?
Or deception, or
or deception.
Persuasion.
Adrian is one of my lowest stats.
Let's be honest, this is an Adrian situation.
It really is Adrian.
This is an Adrian situation.
I dare you to get on the rock.
Darn it.
So, but before
Doofus,
yes, for sure. Before I ask this, though, Evelyn, is this something that you would be comfortable role-playing back and forth with yourself? Because this is a very Adrian and Kreia moment. The three of us would hide in the bushes.
Yeah.
I mean, Cal would do it. It would go poorly.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking along the lines of the fact that not all of us want the fame. As far as I'm concerned, I think this is by far the best way to get our names out there is, hi, we are the heroes.
Yep.
We are the prophesized heroes, but it has been made aware that not everybody wants their name out in the public quite yet. Like, I would go stand on the rock and be like, I'm the king of the rock.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the plan. Is to go
and there ain't nothing you girls can do about it.
That was fully the plan.
Yeah, and Diana will hide in the bush. All right, Adrian, I look at Adrian and go, you got this. Awkward shoulder pat.
Right. So
what?
You're going on the rock?
Are you asking that as Adrian?
Yeah.
Yes, Adrian.
Adrian is gonna kind of walk up to the edge of the lake, the river, and look over and go, who wants to see a hero of the prophecy as they go across the river?
So, I actually kind of would like to do both, because I have a really funny idea.
Right,
I was like, this is not the frat party vibes that I was expecting to come out of this.
I wanted frat party vibes.
Yeah, because Adrian and Kreia, I think, have a certain rapport at this point of the two of them are they're very similar in that they're extremely goofy when they want to be, and especially when you put the two of them together. And also, what is that? It's 10 feet across from the shore to the
Yeah, it's like a
thing?
small. It's not like right there at the river. It's not a.
Is it deep there?
No, it's not. It's like boot deep.
Yeah.
It's you're gonna get soggy feet, but that's about it. You could see
Soggy
that
hooves.
trodden path as people have kind of walked over and tied people over to it.
Okay. Yeah. So I bet the two of us are going. So the two of us are going to stand at the edge of the shore, and Adrian's gonna go. I bet you're too chicken to go stand up on the rock. Excuse me? Chicken? I'm a goat. And I'm gonna scramble to the top of the rock. And I'm gonna turn around to Adrian and be like, well, I'm the king of the rock now. And I think that's kind of more so when Adrian would be like, oh, big hero of the prophecy thinks that they're king of the rock.
Okay, so roll me a performance check.
Okay.
Performance.
With advantage because Adrian's doing it with you.
Bard gonna bard. Bard gonna bard.
Oh, are you... Where is my character sheet? I believe it's a +7. Is there anything I can do to make this better? Can I cast this on myself? Is this possible? For another creature. Damn it.
What'd you get?
I got a 14. I was gonna see if I could cast silvery barbs on myself. I cannot.
So,
oh, no, I can't. Never mind.
some of the people in the crowd are buying the shenanigans that you're putting on. Some of them are not. There's probably about 10 to 15 different people kind of looking, and about 5 of them are kind of like, whoa, look at that. And they're all under the age of 15. As they kind of like point and look like, that's crazy, guys. Look at that. And there's just kind of a bunch of like adults just kind of looking, holding themselves kind of like, what the fuck is happening here?
Honestly, the reaction I expected.
Okay, I have a question.
I have an answer.
I am not a performer.
Wow.
But shut up. Listen. Shut up. Okay, I don't know if you would potentially let Evelyn have a reroll at this. So, because the idea just came to me because my brain checked out for about 30 seconds while I finished my pasta. I feel great. I was just very excited about garlic pasta, and now we're back. When they go back for said, I don't know, as they, okay, I guess like moving forward as they're having this big ol' hero of the prophecy playfully pushing and shoving behind the two of them, so on the rock but to like the corner. Is this right where I just pinged? Could I cast Sacred Flame on the rock so as they're doing this it gets like balls nuts? that was a whole fucking choice.
Sure, yeah, you can cast you so you're casting Sacred Flame?
Yeah, I wanted to. I'll move towards like the edge of the bank. But like as they're being all playful and goofy, and somebody at the next time somebody shouts "Hero of the Prophecy," I would like a divine moment, if you will, for the Sacred Flame to like pop up back here. As they're putting on a big grand gesture.
You cast Sacred Flame, and from behind Kreia, you see this big, large, shadowy kind of flame erupt from behind it.
Balls nuts. That's where we're at today.
Nuts.
Balls nuts.
What components does it take to cast that spell?
It's verbal and somatic.
Okay, are you hiding this?
I mean, Tatiana typically keeps her arms crossed in a very standoffish manner. So not necessarily, because it would be like a snap of her fingers from under her robe, and just like, she would be one of the few adults who's like, yeah, heroes of the prophecies, finger snap, fire.
So as you kind of snap your finger, as your arms are kind of crossed, kind of at your side, and the flames erupt from behind, the quizzicality of the group just intensifies.
Well, I guess that's better than them being like, wow, you guys are insane.
And kind of someone steps forward and goes, so, what's the point here? Are you sacrificing yourself?
Why does there need to be a point, sir?
Well,
you never played King of the Rock?
That is a rock in which people are
Okay,
tied
you know
up
what? That's a
to
fair point.
and ripped apart.
That's a fair point, and actually, to that note, I would recommend that you leave. Because we're... Yeah.
Because why?
Well, you never know what might show up.
I tried to convince them to not have this bet, but here we are.
Are you with them?
Oh, shit. Damn it, Cal.
While this is happening, I would like to check if any basilisks are coming out of the water or if there's movement in the water.
Yeah, make me a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Oh, persuasion, I don't think is one of the things I'm good at.
As Diana, as you look over towards the water and are studying it very studiously, looking for any ripples or any waves happening, it seems pretty clear.
So there were only 2 basilisks this whole fucking time. All right.
14 on the
love it.
persuasion.
I'm not going anywhere. I am perfectly safe here. Usually the beasts go to the rock and eat what's there and leave. I've seen enough sacrifices. I don't intend on joining you.
Well, I'm not asking you to join me.
Correct. But I'm also
Clearly,
not
they
leaving.
don't want you to join them. They are king of the rock.
King of the rock.
Listen, I know that this is
Does
a
it
very
have-
serious. This is a very serious place, but if you allow it to hold the power of fear over you, then I accidentally hit my mic. It's fine. If you allow it to like hold this fear over you, then how is anything ever going to change? If you don't want this to be a big scary sacrifice rock, I mean, why do we need a big scary sacrifice rock?
Come
That's the
on, you
real
did it. You're
question
king
here.
of the rock. Come up, I'll buy you a drink.
I'm holding you to that, Cal.
I actually walk over to Tati after I have just studied the water, and I look at Tati and I say in a low voice, "What if they only appear if we say someone is being sacrificed?" Because I see nothing.
If you're
But-
looking for the basilisks, they typically take about 5 to 10 minutes to show up.
Okay.
Great. We wait for 5 to 10
Fascinating.
minutes.
Since
I
you are
am-
sacrificing your
man.
friend to Letheria, Sidon, what's happening? Which one?
Why do you care so much?
You are making a spectacle over here. I am merely just asking simple questions.
As I was saying, if we allow this to continue to only be a big scary rock where people die, then it's only ever going to be a big scary rock where people die.
My
Do
friend,
you really need do we need a big scary sacrifice rock? I mean, what is the point?
he's gonna kind of look down at you, Cal, and go, "Your friend does know that, like, the gods and the Titans like kind of like the Titans demanded them. So like it's not the rock we're afraid of. It's like the murdering Titans.
They like to argue. You unfortunately opened up this whole conversation. You didn't know. You didn't know that this was the conversation that you were starting.
It's okay. It's okay, honey.
I thought maybe
if you don't want to be stuck in this conversation for the next hour or two,
so are we watching a sacrifice?
We might be. We might be, Cal. Just let it happen. I mean, we never know. At the end of the day, maybe we'll just get a less talkative satyr.
I look at you, Toddy, and because Diana.
The guy kind of rolls back and goes, I have no clue what the fuck's happening here. Sacrifice at the stone! And starts just yelling it out loud as people start running from uphill and start coming down towards Estor's Rock. At this point, you're seeing a group of about 20 to 30 people start crowding around.
Cal is going to kind of mutter under their breath, like, well, you got a stage now.
I was going to say earlier, I look at Tati, because I just had a thought when Tati said we'll get a less talkative satyr. Diana, taking things a little too literally, goes, wait, are we seriously going to we can't let Kreia that you're making a joke. Okay.
You're 6'2", you're so funny.
You're so funny.
You wait for a moment as you anticipate the basilisk to come out of the water.
I'm playing a little tune on my pan flute. I'm entertaining the crowd.
Are you entertaining the crowd with your pan flute, or are you still on your soap rock?
No, I'm still. I mean, it's a little bit of both.
In between
the whole town of Astoria is just going, who the fuck are these heroes?
What?
These are the heroes we're fucked.
Listen, folks, I'm gonna meet Sydon one way or another. So
it's a few minutes pass by. The crowds start to grow larger as the word very quickly spreads back into the town that the heroes of the prophecy are on the rock, sacrificing themselves. And it just escalates into the city. And 10 minutes pass, and there's a crowd about 50.
Okay.
15 minutes pass, and at this moment, you see the crowds start to part as a man starts to walk through, clad in dark armor.
Oh, that's the guy. Shh, guys, I think that's the guy.
And as he kind of walks through the crowd, everyone kind of, the murmuring that's kind of happening, the bustling and the sounds of people entertained and interested what's happening start to hush as this man walks forward with an entourage of about 4 to 5 different guards kind of just walking behind him. Well. What do we have here?
Perhaps a sacrifice. Who knows? What's up? Can I help you, sir?
What's up? Oh my god. Yeah, Tati's like, okay.
Diana is standing next to Tati, just like, we are so fucked.
A long
So you want to
face drag.
sacrifice yourself to Sydon?
I'm gonna have to meet him one way or another.
Why don't you all get up there?
Gaius, is it?
I see my reputation precedes me.
Well, something precedes you. I don't know if it's your reputation.
That and my wonder. Priestess.
Diana almost vomits.
Well, it's wet and my shoes are expensive. So if you don't mind, I'm going to stay here.
You want to join me up here?
No, I've already dedicated myself to Sydon. You lot, though, would make a great addition.
To what?
To join Sydon's side, to be sacrificed to the greatest Titan there is.
No.
A lot of choices to compare him to.
Well, when There's not too many Titans left, and those are the ones that rule over. I mean, they are the most powerful, and where there's power, there's respect.
Listen, my
Definitely the
friends
most
here-
powerful of the few Titans remaining.
My friends here don't really need to get involved in the whole Sydon business. And really, it's this is my journey to go on. You know, everybody's got their own little journey. What's your journey besides being a dick?
My journey is to come here as a, let's say, liaison for Sydon. We've come here to claim Anastasia's not the name. Honora as our next sacrifice. That is the goal, unless you five are donating yourselves. I'm sure Sydon would appreciate me delivering him the prophecies. Great children.
I whispered to Tati because I'm next to her. We did say we wanted to exchange one of us. Do we still want to do this? Which one?
Will it save the princess from sacrifice?
Well, what save the princess?
I gesture to myself standing up on the rock.
Well, for one, Basilisks are gonna have a hard time getting you from up there. So you probably have to come down. We'll chain you to it proper. But one, no.
What?
All five of you. Perhaps.
That's not fun.
And we, out of character, we were informed that we thought we could give up one of us, and it's very clear that he will only
We
accept
weren't
all five.
informed. That was what we had devised among ourselves.
So he
Yeah.
wants all five of us in exchange.
Yeah.
In what way is that an even bargain, guys?
Yeah.
I think it's perfectly fair. I mean, Princess Honora, the beloved, respected, rightful heir to the throne, or the
You want to
five.
sacrifice a demigod. It's
Oh.
as simple as that. It has nothing to do with being heir of the throne, and we both know that.
Don't flatter yourself, Cal. Being a demigod is interesting, it is creative, it is fun that it is part of your history, but no, it is a little bit more than that. It is about understanding the political ideologies that is going on. It is about making sure that Sidon has his will for the coming days.
You don't care that
Oh,
she's
is he dying?
No, Sidon's not dying. He's
Oh,
only
I thought he
getting
was making up a
prepared.
will.
I understand. I'll speak more slowly next time.
So it's not about her being a demigod. It's because you want to dishearten the people by taking away the person who gives them hope. Truly, the greatest age of despair and ruin and arrogant pricks.
I mean, I could send down my entire army of centaurs and minotaurs and cyclopses and destroy this whole town and burn it to the ground myself, if that's really the course of action. Or you can earn your name and take your spot on the rock as you see fit. Although you don't have to make this decision right now. I am a kind soul. Please take your time. Honora wasn't slated to go for another 3 days.
4.
4 days.
I've been keeping very
So-
close track.
We can come to you and... So to my understanding, we can just tell you in 4 days if you would like to take 5 for 1.
Sure. If that is your wish, I'll accept the 5 of the prophecy. The golden 5. Oh.
Are you sure we can't even just do one? I mean, if it's supposed to be 5 of us and one of us dies, then it is what it is. But I certainly don't think one body. Yes, the beloved princess of the people. I certainly don't think you need 5 people.
What if that one was a descendant of Sidon?
We'll wrap it up as difference of perspectives. But I will need all 5.
There is no convincing you otherwise.
I'm not concerned with blood rights. I'm not concerned with half gods. I'm not concerned with the purity of who you are. My goal that I've always stated is purely political. You 5 are supposedly the prophecy, and though I doubt you'll take down Sidon or Lutheria, the idea of that is just preposterous. We could just nip this in the bud, and you can go up there yourself, and we won't have to worry about it.
Cal's eyes glaze over fully black. No iris.
So, what will it be?
How about you give us a minute and we'll let you know.
He kind of takes a sit back and just kind of squats onto the ground and goes, I got all time. A minute a day? What do you need?
I think it's a fairly obvious choice is the problem.
Yeah, that's the other
Yeah.
Completely out of character. I think it's a fairly obvious choice what we have to do.
Yeah.
We have to all go on the rock.
Okay. With your guys' prayer, I would like to initiate said frustration on this guy. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna
the
we're gonna start.
You're doing
here.
a great job of making us hate you, Randall.
Yeah, well
phenomenal.
done. Fuck that guy.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a whole ass time with this. I'm gonna walk my little butt over in front of Gaius. I'm gonna slowly remove my shoes and place them in his lap. And I'm gonna take my cape off and I'm gonna place it in his lap. And then the only thing that obviously I'm keeping my items on me, so get wrecked on that point. Just so we're all aware. So like my belt, it's got my sword and like my pouch is set around my thighs. And then I'm gonna like slide the little cap off and I'm just gonna put it right there on top of his head. And I'm gonna give him a quick little pat on the cheek and then walk over onto the stone. You want 5, you can have 5. And I am, for important notation here, I'm mostly naked.
I follow Tati without nearly as much show. I look at the clothes on his lap. I look at the cap. And all I do is I just knock him with my shoulder and just go, oops, and walk to the rock. Sorry.
It's fine, I'm sure. You'll make it to the rock perfectly fine. Don't fall on any rocks.
Don't worry, I am one.
A rock? Yes, you seem to have the personality of one.
Are you are you trying to be witty?
Looks over to Cal and goes, are you following your friends? And Adrian, who I'm assuming kind of doesn't have a choice here.
Adrian goes over, I assume makes some kind of joke. Alas, I do not have the comedy stylings of our dear friend Doofus, who could not be here tonight.
Gives him a piece of shit rock he just picked up in front of him.
Oh yeah,
he gets the
bitch.
worst
The
rock
worst-
and gives it to
the worst
Gaius.
little rock. It's I don't know. It's a shitty rock.
In today's times, it would be a piece of asphalt. It's not even a rock.
Yes.
If I can, I would like to at least embody a little bit of Cal's intimidating presence in moving to the rock.
Okay.
To try to retain a little bit of the power move here.
Okay. So at this point, you are all moving to the rock, correct?
Yep.
Oh, I still want to stand up on top. I'm
King of the rock, Randall. Thank you.
I'm king of the rock. Bitch.
Someone's rolling. So
Yeah, in case you wanted it.
okay. So as you all make it over to the rock, right about this time, and the spectacle, the side is bustling with people. You're talking like 100 people. You could see up from the town some people getting on the houses, starting to look down over towards the direction of the rock, as there's murmuring is kind of picked up again. And at this point, Pythor has decided to come out of his hiding for just a moment. Stumbling his way down the south gate, goes, "What is happening?" My dear king, it looks like your heroes to save the city are deciding to take the place of your precious Honora. So that means she's safe? She doesn't have to go. Well, we can make a deal. An oath. I honor that we will choose to take these 5 courageous young souls over your Honora as sacrifice to Sydon. And Princess Honora can go free. You don't have to worry about anything, and we'll ensure their slow and fun death. Pythor looks over for a moment and looks past Gaius and locks eyes with you, Cal. And he looks like he's about to speak up, looking at you. And he pauses for a moment, just kind of nodding. And goes, "Yes, I suppose that's a fair deal. My people, we're here together, gathered here today. Wow, I like combining words. Still drunk. To unfortunately sacrifice the ones that you may have known as the heroes of our prophecy. Here to save us so that our dear Princess Honora may not be. And there's a weird mixture of hoorays and hurrahs, but boos, and like it's not well received and it's not bad. It is so many conflicted emotions from the crowd that is surrounding you all. And then Pythor kind of looks over and goes, "State your names."
Kreia.
Diana.
Adrian.
I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad on Cal's behalf. Like Tatiana's mad, but Bonnie is mad. Fuck that guy. Tatiana, piece of shit.
Calix Tyrmos.
And when you say your last name, Cal, it ripples through the crowd, creating this sense of like, oh shit, we know them. And recognition starts to kind of peter its way across and kind of flow through the crowd. And Gaius puts his hand on Pythor, who at this point can't look at any of you in the eye. And Gaius goes, "Haha, there. Thank you. You're doing a service to Sydon. You may release your princess from their crypt that you put them in. All right, guards."
Whoa. Can we have... This is going all out of order. The sacrifice is not meant to take place for another 4 days. We get 4 days.
You guys all walked on the stone. I'm assuming that you were ready. What do you need in 4 days?
I don't know. Write a goodbye letter to my family. Settle affairs. Pay off my student debt.
Way too much interest on that student debt. But the rest of you, do you all need this time to prepare for your sacrifice?
It would be nice to make peace.
Yes. Seems we have 4 days.
No. You have a day.
You're already getting a 5-for-1 deal.
Go back on your promise, and I'll just put up Princess Honora there. But my turntables are my turntables. You are the one with everything to lose. I am merely the one putting on pressure.
So to our understanding, we would all get chained to this rock.
Correct.
We need to figure out a way to get out of that.
That's why I'm bargaining for time.
Cal is still seething. Just like you are pressing your luck, buddy, is just pouring off of them.
All right. So be it. We'll meet here tomorrow, 3 p.m.
A day.
Yeah, that sure is a day.
That's not even a full 24 hours.
I have nothing to lose here.
And you have nothing to
keep
gain.
saying-
Which means you have no leverage. Remind you of your place. Please don't walk around entitled thinking just because you're the heroes of the prophecy that you can wave your hand and do whatever you like. No, my friends, you are in my area, and I have the pressure, I have the tools, and I have the people outside of the gate ready to storm at any moment. So
And you
Yes.
are acting
Look
as
at
if you
you,
have
fun
already
little
taken
man with
this
your big-
city.
Look at you, fun little man with your big boy pants.
clearly you guys just want to bicker for the fun of it. We'll see you here at 3 p.m. We'll set up and make sure it's an exquisite festival.
While this is happening, I would like to use a distraction to look at the chains, and I would like to sabotage them in some way.
You're going to try to sabotage them in this moment? Okay.
He's distracted.
Make me a sleight of hand check.
Can I provide the help action by being high, since my focal point would be higher up than where Diana is?
Absolutely.
With advantage. Kreia is definitely still making fun of and pestering this man. Probably to the point where a vicious mockery could be argued to be cast, but I won't actually do that.
I was also going to ask if Adrian was available to help.
That's unfortunately not going to do it. My highest one was an 8. I got a nat 1 and a 5.
Dan, as you kind of pick up the padlock and kind of wiggle it around a little bit, kind of looking at the chains and the metal, it is a dense metal, and looking at it, you see the tinkerings of your favorite forge master, Vulcan. It is well crafted. It has a sturdiness to it.
Vulcan. We have a day. We can go to Vulcan. Okay. Let's not waste any more of this very important man's time.
At least the rock, he gets it.
What? Diana just walks off the fucking room, just like, what the fuck,
Perhaps
man?
their intelligence did not go as deep as I thought. Anyway, I will be off, and I will see you guys tomorrow. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
You really are a sad, awful little man. And that time I am going to cast Vicious Mockery.
You're casting that is a spell, right?
It's a cantrip.
Or spell.
It is a cantrip. It is a wisdom saving throw.
Can you counterspell that?
You're counterspelling. You're counterspelling a vicious mockery.
Wow! Wasted a spell.
Wow!
Flourishing this. Yes.
You're wasting a spell. Wow, you sad man.
Wow, you really are a sad, horrible little man.
As you start to kind of move your hand up to cast vicious.
Nope, there's no somatic component. It's only verbal. It is only the insult. That is the only indicator of a spell being cast.
As you start to, like, are just going in, you see him just kind of go like this, and kind of like that sound barrier just goes poof, as the wave of the vicious mockery was about to hit him, and he goes, "No, dear. No. You're really
I'm not
cute,
a deer.
though."
I'm a goat. Get your shit together.
No, dear.
Well, natural 20 on that animal handling. I'm going to go now.
As he leaves, I'm going to get back on the shore. I'm going to immediately start thinking about, like, if whoever comes to me first, I will talk to. But I look very deep in thought, like visibly, as the crowd starts to part.
And he turns right around. His figures follow him behind as he just goes back up, not giving a mind about you guys, as the crowd lingers and the backs start to disperse a little bit.
Vulcan made those chains.
Then we should talk to Vulcan. I think that would be the best way to go anyways, if we're going to find a way to be able to get out of them, which I think that we have a few options on that. But
I need to ask him for a couple of things anyway. I apologize. Please go ahead, Kreia.
That was it. I think we just need to find a way to, if we can have a way to get out of them or break them. I don't think any of us have any like teleportation type spells at this point. I don't think any of us have Misty Step, or we're not high enough level for something like a Dimension Door. You have Misty Step.
Cal has Misty Step.
Okay, Cal has Misty Step. Good. That's gonna be huge.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
I might have
During
something
this
too.
conversation, you notice Pythor lingering behind in the crowd, kind of looking over sheepishly, but not sure how to initiate the conversation. And if you guys do not engage, he will go ahead and head off, a little slumped over.
Cal, before leaving the rock, is going to cast Chill Touch just to test. Actually, does Chill Touch need a target? I can use my other one if I have to.
Chill Touch is a creature target.
Okay, so it doesn't actually require a target intentionally.
Yeah.
Cal is checking to make sure that there's not like an anti-magic field on the rock.
No, it's like as you just cast it in a space, you see your hand just kind of float and kind of like disperse a little bit of like snowflakes. There's no anti-magic happening here.
Okay.
Tati?
I would like to go engage with Pythor. Standing here a little bit longer than...
I'll follow behind, but at a distance to... Yeah.
First things first, did Douchebag take my clothes?
No. He just kind of brushed them on the ground. They're really haphazardly put on the ground. They dip into a little bit of the mud.
Dickheads. Okay. So I'm gonna pick those up and kind of dunk them in the river. And by probably like the most dressed down she has been. Like the snakes are almost slicked back. They're not really out and wild. It's just more relaxed. It kind of denotes her rather disengaged demeanor with this guy. But as she kind of throws your stuff up onto the tree branches so she can wring out and clean up. So I do see that you made it out.
Yes, I did.
And you're lingering because you are going to congratulate us, or
Or thank us.
do you want a congratulations?
No, I'm just curious as to why you seemed so disengaged with your child previously, and now you're hovering like a concerned parent.
Hope? Maybe I
You are a god.
So you all like to remind me.
No, listen to me. Please. You of all people have the ability to take fate into your own hands.
I can't. For the last time.
Okay, well, that said, I hear you. Okay, I'm not asking you to unleash whatever natural abilities you have on this world. I'm not asking that. I'm asking, and she's gonna kind of, if he'll allow, she's gonna come up and kind of like take his hands in hers.
He will allow it, but very awkwardly.
Well, that's okay. War gods never really are the best at touch. And she's just gonna kind of like hold his hands in hers, and she's just, we'll do what we can to save this city, but we're going to need your help in the future. And that first step is, did we ever get his hammer? Did he give it to us?
No, it is
yet.
promised to Cal once the princess is saved.
Okay. That's what I thought. Thank you. Yeah, so she's gonna, the first step is we're gonna need that hammer. We've saved your daughter. And then...
So you're going through with this?
Oh, yeah, we are. I think the five of us have a better chance to withstand whatever is coming our direction rather than leaving Honora to fend for herself on the rock.
Well, should you survive and they leave, I will have my hammer ready for you when you get off the rock.
I don't like making oaths, but oh my god, I don't not believe that I am going to say this. I don't know what oath of swearing bullshit I need to make because my brain is not all here. But
He's already sworn it to me.
He swore to me as well.
Yeah, but not to me. So, and I am. I think it's a little bit different when we're the initiator rather than being asked. Like, at least flavor wise, which is.
Yeah, go for it. I dig it.
But she's just gonna kind of like, I don't know, place one hand on top of the other, and then kind of fold his hands. And I assume he's a much larger person than her.
Yeah, this is like, I imagine like Randall and Sully from Monsters Inc.
Yes. Tiny little hands. Hello. She's, I understand that I do not follow in your teachings and your practices, and we agree to disagree on some things. However, I swear to you that no harm. No, not no harm. I should backtrack that one. I swear to you that we will keep your daughter safe from these people, and we will flush out this filth from your city.
As you say, you swear. You see like these yellow tendrils kind of wisp around the two hands, binding you two. I appreciate your stewardnesses and your help.
I understand that you've asked us to do this already, but I took no part of your asking this last time, as you and I sort of got off on the wrong foot. But I'm telling you now that I won't let anything happen to her.
Your sacrifice will be honored. And I'll make sure that any drinks that you need tonight are on me, I guess.
Thank you.
And Cal, are you with the group?
Cal is kind of half distracted, like close enough to hear, but like looking out at the rock and not really engaging with the conversation.
He's going to look down at you, Tati, and say, still just ale rancor just coming off of his breath. Tell
Disgusting.
Cal, he's doing his family. They're doing their family service. They're doing good.
I will.
Anyway, I'm gonna go talk to Nora, who may or may not be pissed at you, but I'm gonna go handle that.
Question before you leave.
Yes.
What are the terms of a failed sacrifice? Because if we make it until morning, the sacrifice fails. This is what we were told previously. Does that mean that...
Failed
would that
sacrifice
still
is
mean...
still a sacrifice?
Even if it fails?
I will be blunt with you to make sure that we have the same expectations. No sacrifice has ever failed on the Rock of Estor.
Be that as it may, there's a first time for everything.
But be that as may, you have until sunrise. If you're able to fend off anything that Gaius might throw at you, because he will have his own guard, and with the added day, he'll be able to pull some of his troops from the north down to watch the ceremony. It'll only be his right.
But they can't interfere.
I can't say that. The only thing I can say is that if you survive through the morning, then the sacrifice is official, whether it is done or not, and you will have honored your side.
And then they must
Does
honor
he
theirs.
have harpies in his army?
Many.
Thank you.
So those are the harpies we'll have to fight. Okay.
I am going to go speak to Vulcan.
We should all go. I have a lot of ideas.
I need to
Understood.
talk to Lav.
As he turns away, departing from the group, still with that solemn, sunken expression as he solemnly heads back up through the northern gates, he vanishes off into the distance. The five of you now stand amidst very few, as the crowd has largely dispersed during your conversation with Pythor. With a lot of ideas and more challenges ahead of you, this is where we're going to end tonight's session. Woo.
Woo! Nice. I like it. It was
I have
good.
a list.
High drama.
I have a list.
I do. I have a list.
So Gongo Phoenix, welcome in. Thank you, sir, for your first time chatting in here. Glad to see you out. Glad to see you. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. We will be doing the finale of The Hobbits this Saturday, and we'll be back next week on Tuesday to explore how they get out of this situation. My dog is eating the floor.
Or we all die.
Or you all die. And
Not on my
force my chief graphic officer to create all new art.
If you TBK us, I will TBK you.
Oh, my stomach. So
Ow, my stomach.
We're very excited for you guys to join us on this adventure, and we're getting to this part. I'm excited. I have lots of stuff. You guys have finished one of the great labors, but you still have 2 more to go on top of dealing with this situation. So those are the 3 key points I think that we're still going on about. Then quickly before we raid out, where can we find all of you beautiful people?
You can find me everywhere at Evelyn sometimes. Mostly Twitch and Tumblr.
You can find me at TikTok at the Tipsy Tiger. You can find me also at Twitch at the Tipsy Tiger. Titsy Tiger, sure. You can find me there.
Yep.
Only fans.
You go take that screen name right now.
Honestly, though, go create an OnlyFans that's called the Titsy Tiger just so nobody can ever have it. Straight up. Anyway, though, yeah, you can find me all the places at Sweet and Lore, no punctuation, no capitalization, well, yeah, no punctuation, funny letters, nothing. Primarily here on Twitch, doing shenanigans. I will be streaming this weekend. I was off last weekend for some much needed grass touching and people seeing. So I'll be back this weekend.
And I'm Cherney, and I am a collective hallucination, and no one will believe you if you told them you saw me.
But where can we find you in our delusions, Cherney?
That's up to you.
Joke's on you. I saw you on Wednesday.
I saw you today.
Did you? Did you though?
I don't know anymore.
I am your friendly neighborhood cryptid. Do I actually exist? No one will believe you.
We are going to go ahead and raid out to someone who is also getting back to streaming because they were also out and touching grass. Because I haven't hit them up in a little bit. So we're gonna hop over there and enjoy some really good storytelling from Final Fantasy 16. What?
Because we're gonna enjoy some really good storytelling, and I was sitting here going, but it's a video game. Okay, we're
Listen, Final Fantasy 16 has an amazing story.
You're just trying to justify watching him cry on stream.
Yes, absolutely.
You
So
also just want to chain all of the Final Fantasy games that you can possibly get your hands on and play them start to finish. So,
I mean, also, yeah.
So please get your raid emotes so we can watch Duckburg cry.
Oh, somebody want to gift stream elements? Poor stream elements.
Poor stream elements. Thank you guys so much for seeing this. You can also you can get our after the action. You can get our stream over on YouTube shortly after, or get it ad free on Patreon. And any of Spotify listening casting thingy. I didn't have a thing. I just threw that in there. You're welcome. I love you guys. Remember to always be kind, to love one another. You rock, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.